Hello.
Big smiles. There we go. Perfect.
Welcome in for another Tuesday Night Legacy, guys.
For more Legacy.
More.
On Tuesday.
I know, I already did 2 leagues today, and here I'm going to do 4 more rounds. I feel like I've been sitting here all day.
You
oh, wait.
have been.
I have been.
Okay. So
but you know what? It's been a lot of fun.
If Kyer just kind of zones out and like starts looking at the wall, I'll keep us on track. It'll be great.
That is so good. All right, so first round, we've got Brian and Shay. And it was kind of funny because Brian's like, put me on camera. I'm on Nick's Fit.
Yeah.
And so he's playing my Nick's Fit deck. And then he actually ended up on one of the cameras anyway. I didn't even have to like special order Brian.
Right.
So
I did see that, Jorgensen. You'll be able to get. You'll be able to get the original art if you play in Vintage Masters. I'd be more excited for the Vintage Masters Cube. We might play a little bit of Cube. Yeah.
I can honestly say once Cube goes live, most of our streams are going to be Cube. At least when it comes to me. Like, that's all I ever want to do, so...
I think his Cube is more fun than the Vintage Masters.
I agree.
But, sure, getting the original art finally with the original frame in power. Okay.
Cool.
I mean, you can get them in foil, too, which is kind of silly.
Definitely silly.
But you want to collect them for yourself, get them online. Jorgensen. Looks like Brian took a mulligan.
That he did.
And Shay's usually either on Storm or he's been
Elves.
playing Elves.
If I had to guess, he's on Storm tonight.
That's my guess as well.
He had a pretty bad showing with Elves a week ago. It wouldn't surprise me if he's like, yeah, not running this back for a
coming
minute.
back into to winning some matches. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes against Storm.
So I told Brian he had to be me today. So I just got this mat today. I was pretty happy about it.
This is your mat?
This is my mat.
Oh, right
I told him he had to be me, my deck, my mat. You know.
So okay, Jorgensen, it's been a while since Vintage Masters came out, and they've made multiple since then. But I'm pretty sure that the power were like at a higher rarity, like an ultra mythic. But I could be wrong on that. So it was like not easy to get.
All right, Gitaxian Probe sees Sylvan Library, Abrupt Decay, Phyrexian Tower, and Swords and an Evolutionary Leap. This is not a strong hand from Brian, especially if this is Storm, which I fully expect it to be.
I guess. Does he have a Savannah down?
This is a scrub land.
Is it a scrub?
Yeah.
So he already mulled to 6. But, yeah, this is a rough hand.
Yeah, I didn't see if he scried on top or bottom either. I wasn't paying as much attention as I should be. All right, so Duress, we're going to take Sylvan Library.
So even if he had a Savannah, that was going away.
All right, I think we can conclude this is Storm, right?
Yeah.
So Evolutionary Leap is actually one of the key things that he needs to have, and drawing this forest was huge for him. Which I assume he scried that to the top, right?
I hope so.
Or
he got lucky.
Yeah, I would assume so. But now he's just looking for a creature. And just about any creature will do. Once Dovescape is down, this is over. So, for the most part.
Yep. So he needs a land now or a creature. He drew the Rector, but he only has 3 mana available. It's like a veteran explorer right here would be amazing, right?
Well, he has 2 Academy Rectors. So the lack of land is just hurting him, you know?
Yeah, and Shay's got a Cabal Therapy. He just saw off that Brainstorm. If he hits it, ouch.
His hand looks pretty good. I'm kind of surprised Shay hasn't been able to go off yet. But this Brainstorm might be enough to set him off this turn.
We'll see. Here we go. Maybe. I'm part of a Storm Facebook group now.
Are you?
I don't play Storm, but by altering these cards,
Oh, okay.
they're getting. I'm not showing them. The
They're
owner
getting
is
attention
showing them,
elsewhere.
and so I'm checking in just to see what the comments are like, the response. It's kind of funny though to hear the arguments. This card versus that card. Splash green this, and oh, okay.
All right, Dark Ritual, 3 floating.
Yeah.
gonna
And
take
here's the therapy.
swords.
Smash. Ouch.
Take Academy Rector. 1 black floating.
Is Shay going to? Oh, maybe he's stopping here.
Looks like it. He still has a black floating, and he has another dark written hand.
And Brian's got the F6 out.
That should be at 1. Definitely at 1. So Storm is 5. 1 black mana floating. Here's another Dark Ritual. So this will take his black mana up to 3. Whatever this other tutor is called, I can never remember.
Come on, Ritual.
Not tutor, ritual. And then we ritual.
Yeah.
Or tutor. Or ritual.
Sorry. Then we're doing Storm things. Storm card being played. Storm other card. Storm ramp. Storm search. Storm.
More storm. Other stormness.
Yep. He's got it. Is pretty much what it is. That's 9 plus a tendrils is 10. So he got to systematically take apart Brian's hand and win.
And kill him.
Oh, he's gonna tick up one more here.
Tendrils you.
There's tendrils. Okay.
Alright. Game 1 goes to Shay on Storm.
So now, what is in your sideboard that Brian's gonna bring in here? Now that you've changed the sideboard up a little bit. There's no more.
Thought Seizes come in. Eidolon or Rhetoric comes in. Those are both pretty big.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Leyline of the Voids
Leyline of the Voids can come in.
or Surgical Extraction. Do you still have that?
It looks like he's bringing in Choke.
Oh, you have a choke in there now.
We do. Let's take a look at our other match. So we've got Tim, and he's on Manifest Destiny.
We're playing the 2 online decks here.
He's been like loving this deck, and then he is playing against
Davis.
And Davis is on.
He's sneak and showing.
Sneak and show.
And he's successfully sneak and showing. He doesn't have any. You don't have any Leyline of Sanctities in there, right?
No Leyline of Sanctity. It's been an option. I mean, we've been toying with so many different things with this Nyx Fit deck. We're definitely seeing success with it, but I don't think we're quite where we want to be yet. We're close.
1 mana 15/15 is better.
Those were some fast games.
Yeah.
Well, let's check out the shuffle cam over here then.
Oh, look, they're shuffling.
Sideboarding.
We can critique their style of shuffling.
We can.
Brian
We
is
don't need to.
looking for cards to take out. I mean, there's some easy choices, right? Swords can come out. Abrupt Decays can come out.
Yeah.
We're familiar with how Nyx Fit sideboards, right?
I've been doing it a lot lately.
We've seen it happen.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Nyx Fit lately.
It's fun though, right? It's still fun.
It is easily one of the most fun decks I have ever played.
And it's a challenge. Like I watched some games that were a grind getting there.
Every play we're trying to a play to an out, which I think all in all is a really good thing for a player to do. Have I made changes? Yes, Thomas, absolutely.
Yep.
Not drastic changes. Or sorry, the sideboard is completely different. 100%.
Yeah.
I think the only thing that we haven't changed in the sideboard is like 2 Thoughtseize. Like we've changed almost everything else.
Wait a minute. Brian and I put that sideboard together very professionally.
Yeah. No, I've changed a ton of things on the sideboard, but the main board we found kind of a gem. Garruk Relentless.
Yeah.
And we got to test with Garruk Relentless today. Card was fantastic in the deck. So before we were running 3 Leap.
Yeah.
Now we get to run 2 Leap, 2 Garruk, it's more of the same thing. Really, they have the same purpose.
Right.
Except Garrick doesn't die to Pernicious Deed.
Yeah.
And it can sit there and make tokens all day, so it like doubles as a win con. The card was just phenomenal.
And there's other
in the
cards
league we played
that
today.
miss on Garuk too, right? Like Abrupt Decay. Or,
Yeah, it can't be
or
Abrupt
if
Decay.
Miracles brings in a Disenchant or something like that, your Planeswalker does well.
A tutor and removal spell? Who knew? I know. Garrick Relentless. Well, I think the thing is we just hadn't found it, right? Like we had the original deck. Brian and Bryce spent some time tweaking it, and then they set me on it, and I accidentally 5-0'd a league. And then now we're actually trying to make the deck, because like it's very clear that the deck is good and that it's playable.
Yep.
So from here on out, it's how good can we make it? You know, can we tune it better? And I'm not the best brewer, but I'm still trying.
Yeah.
I am trying so hard.
Well, and when you've played a deck a lot, then you can, if a card gets suggested, you can evaluate it pretty easily for your deck and say, oh yeah, I'd love to see that card. Or
okay, so turn 1 Thoughtseize. This is exactly what he wants to see. He sees
Duress, Cabal Therapy, Cabal Ritual, and Lotus Spell. So Duress is easy.
Yep, and it looks like he has a Cabal Therapy as well. Brian does. So we'll have to see where he goes with that. This is going to be a therapy?
Yeah, let's see if Shay is going to therapy in the dark here.
He probably is going to miss. What do you even name? I don't know what I would name if I was Shay. Just the thing you're scared of, right? Like, are you scared of Leap?
Right, yeah, I don't know.
Are you like? Does he know this deck well? I honestly don't know.
Normally, the card you really want early is Veteran Explorer.
But he didn't play Veteran Explorer. Right. He played Thoughtseize. Yeah. He names Therapy. No, oh no, he's choosing to ponder. So that was his draw for the turn.
I think that was Lion's Eye, card 3.
Whoa.
I'm not sure.
Really debating a shuffle here. Nope, he is gonna shuffle. He's like, yeah, this is just not gonna cut it.
Yeah, one Lion's Eye Diamond is fine there, but when you're drawing 2 more or 2 more blanks, pretty much, it's going to be four turns before anything else could happen.
He passes back, and now Brian can fetch up whatever land he's. Okay, nope, he's gonna go for the therapy.
And he can therapy twice here. He can Green Sun Zenith and get
Dryad Arbor.
And do it again.
Yeah, and just pick this hand apart completely. Oh, he's gonna get a Badlands and just therapy him again.
Yeah. Or a Bayou.
Or sorry, not a Badlands, a Bayou. That's what I meant to say. Look at that. Bryce said he's gonna be scatterbrained, and sure enough, here I am.
It makes me look good. It's fine.
Just wait till Captain QC gets here. He'll put you in your place.
Right. 2 leagues is a lot, though.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Brian and I usually do 1, and at the end, I'm like, should we keep going? He's like, no, I'm done.
All right, therapy. He sees 2 Green Sun Zenith and a Garrick. It's curious.
Yeah.
So with 2 Cabal therapies in the graveyard, and now he's staring down 2 Green Sun Zenith, and he doesn't get the Cabal therapy again. As far as we know, right?
Unless he's got another one.
I don't think he drew another one.
Yeah. I don't think so either. We don't know what he pulled off Ponder. But I think we're just going to see a blue cantrip here.
So Brian gets to tutor up a Veteran Explorer.
Yeah.
He gets the Cabal therapy again.
Yeah.
Just tearing Shay's hand apart.
And Brian knows a card in Shay's hand?
Any card is enough. So there's a forest, and he'll be able to Green Sun. Yeah, what a hand from Brian, really. He's had a great hand. That needs to get shuffled, Brian.
Yeah, you can't miss that.
Yeah. Go out there and yell at him. Okay, so 2 basics for each player. Cabal Therapy is going to name something. He sees Duress and Polluted Delta. That is a terrible hand from Shay.
Just so he's going to go ahead and Green Sun now.
Green
since
Sun
he
again.
Would lose it otherwise.
Yep, and he gets to take this Duress too. Yep, go get another Veteran Explorer, take Duress. This is...
And just go all basic out here. All the basics.
Just get 1.5 million basics. Green Sun will shuffle back in. And Brian's 1 mana off from casting Garrick, but man, this Garrick's going to look good on an empty board.
So this deck initially had a Sigarda.
It did.
As a Green Sun tutorable green creature.
Yeah, it was out of the board.
And I think we started with it main, and then it went side, and now it's gone. But here you could see how that would actually be pretty sweet. But it just doesn't fit with a lot of what else was going on.
No, and I couldn't figure out what matchups Sigarda needed to come in against. Like, every time I thought about it, I was like, I don't want to hit this off leap.
Yeah.
You know? Like, because usually when I start leaping, I want to go right into my strategy.
Right. Yep. You want an Explorer that you can leap again right away, or you just want to keep hitting Rectors. But now, the only targets for Green Sun are these Explorers and a Dryad Arbor.
So Brian only has 2 basics left in his deck, which... He's gotten so many. All right, 3 mana. What is this, a Grim Tutor?
Grim Tutor. It's very grim.
It's so grim.
It can only tutor for Grim Players and Grim Towers. Or Player Tower. Wait, no.
Batosai, hey, welcome. Welcome in.
So... There's an article I like to read. It came out today, right?
Okay.
That just likes to make fun of Magic. The recap, we can look at it later. I'll link it. But one of his things is he's guessing at what the abilities for Urza are going to be that are online. You go to the website, right? And one of them is that target opponent becomes Mishra, and you have to refer to each other as bro for the rest of the game.
Oh, there you go, Leah. See, you can tutor a Grim Monolith.
Oh, Grim Monolith. That was the other Grim thing I was thinking. I was like, the tower thing that's Grim.
Such Grim, such Monolith. All right, Garrick's going to come down and make a Pixie Wolf.
What did he get with his tutor? Do we know? We didn't see.
No.
I don't know what you get there.
Garrick is a couple turns out from getting Devscape on board, which is unfortunate for Brian because... With that Grim Tutor coming down, I think Shay can sculpt a winning hand much sooner than...
not when he's empty-handed, though. You need stuff in hand to... Okay, so that's what he gets.
See, ad nauseum.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense. That's why I was like, what did he get? What do you get there when you have so little? Yeah, tutors are the first part that you need. Or tutors, ramp spells. And here's a...
Can you get Pilgrims?
Because they're Grim. I don't think I would have caught that, except he capitalized Grim, so...
So he's going to go to 5 life and keep all these cards. Now, he doesn't...
Yeah, he's got it here.
Okay. Did he find his Storm card?
He found Past in Flames, which means he just gets to go off.
Told you sooner.
That was a very nice top 5 cards off the top of Shay's library for ad nauseum. Getting a Lotus, he needed exactly a Lotus Petal and a couple ramp spells, and it worked. Perfect, Jorgensen. I appreciate it. If you could just always do that, so that I'm not sitting there going, I don't get it.
There you go, Gremlins.
Okay.
They were in Kaladesh. You can tutor stuff. Jeez. There's no appreciation from this guy.
I like the other ones. I mean, I don't know what a pilgrim is in Magic, but...
It's the person who happens to be a pilgrim.
It's another name for a cleric, of course. Yeah. Yep. I think Shay gets it here.
I think so.
She's got too much. Leyline of the Void should have been in there.
Grim Tutor, go get the thing that kills him.
The ad nauseum gets there.
He was probably 2 turns. Brian was still 2 turns out from getting Deathscape on board.
Obviously, Grim Lavamancer. Obviously. And I'm not sure it can get a Grim Flare, right? We've had this discussion because I think that the Flare actually flays Grims, so you can't tutor for something that kills Grim things with a Grim tutor.
When I sat down today, I just knew we were going to have this conversation. All right.
Shay combos off because of ad nauseum.
Let's take a look over here. It looks like show and tell has happened.
We're in the same boat.
Who do you think is going to win after this show and tell?
So one player plays show and tell. He gets a 15-15 flying annihilator trample, can't be targeted by instants. The other one has to use an instant to save his 12-12.
Yes, which he did.
That's called fair magic right there.
Completely.
Yeah. But he gets to attack first. Into a 15-15.
Jorgensen's lawyering you.
No. You can totally play Grim things. Yep. Grim, we have a Grim tutor. It's a thing.
Grim Lavamancer.
He's a player of arbitrary things that happens to be Grim.
That happens to be Grim.
That's exactly what he is. He's a complicated individual, all right?
Yeah.
Man, I kind of want an altar now that somehow squeezes in flair of arbitrary things that happen to be Grim.
Oh, man.
Davis shows that he had force backup for whatever neat thing Tim was going to do.
Well, that was like the fastest round ever.
And we're done. Only 37 minutes until the next round.
Only 37 minutes.
Let's see actually what it is. It's been 20. So yeah, that's pretty accurate right there.
Pretty close.
Wow. And I think we're all out of flair jokes there. That's an offer. Yep. And Brian's showing was really good, right? Like he picked apart the Storm deck.
I can't tell you how many times that's happened though. So like the deck that I have most experience playing is Junt. And I have Thought Seizes, I have Hymns, I have like Surgicals and like other things that come in off the board to make to try to make that matchup better. And seriously, every time I play it, I will pick apart their hand. I will go turn 1 Thought Seize, turn 2 Hymn, turn 3 Liliana, make you discard. And after I've made them discard like 4 or 5 cards, they're like, okay, kill you. And I'm like...
Right. Thanks. Yeah, that's something Storm's good at doing.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Come back from being picked apart like that because
it really can.
Infernal Tutor is good when your hand's empty.
Yep.
And there's a card in there that lets you reset. It's also a gamble, right? Because you can just lose to ad nauseum.
All right, so what are we talking about? We can talk about any of these things.
We have things.
You gonna talk to us about some of your altars?
Okay, I will.
I guess I just had a link, huh?
That's okay.
That's easier than typing it out. Where'd it go?
It's not that much easier.
No, definitely not. Don't worry about it.
I think most of you have seen these. I showed these at the end of yesterday, right?
Yeah.
But they're fun. I think they're fun. Okay. Whoa. So here's some altars I've been doing for one of our viewers on stream, Meal Solutions. Contacted me 2 months ago now for his Legacy Storm deck, and this is the most recent addition to that. This Dark Ritual, a Divine versus Demonic dual deck, Dark Ritual specifically, but I think this one turned out really well, and he's happy with it. I'm happy with it, so I get to show it off. Yeah, like I was saying, now I'm a part of the Legacy's Facebook Storm page, just so I can see as these get.
What was Leah's question for you earlier about your altars?
I didn't see.
Leah, ask your question again. We kind of missed it. If you're still in chat.
So I've done what? I've done Ponder, Burning Wish was second, and Rite of Flame was first, and they're all on here if you guys want to check them out, or give my page if you want. However you do that, give it a like.
I know what I needed to do.
All right, we've got Brian with us.
I leave the Cabal Therapy.
Come stand over here.
I leave the Cabal Therapy in my bin, the second one.
Yeah.
Put the Veteran Explorer into play because I know I have the Garruk Dauntless in hand.
Yeah.
Kill it, flip the Garruk, do that whole thing. Or when I do the Academy Directory, just have the Cabal Therapy for it.
Yep.
I just got one tracked on it.
Yeah, you did. Because if you were able to just cast the Rector and then
Rector
Cabal
and
Therapy it right there,
Uh-huh.
then you get Dovescape and they can't win.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dovescape or the Eidolon.
Yeah, and then since you have Garrick, you can loop into Curse of Death's Hold, and then you just win.
Yeah, it doesn't matter from there. Yeah, that was the big mistake. I saw it as soon as I did it. I'm like, as soon as I draw the Academy Rector, I'm like,
Of course.
of course.
But he has to specifically find Tutor, and it feels like you would have had more turns for that.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, my line was like, he's out of cards now.
Yeah.
I literally just play Garrick and start making 2/2s.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he's like, Grim Tutor, and you were like,
And and as soon as I said Grim Tutor, I knew it was over.
yeah.
Because, like, it was Adnob. He grabbed the LED, right?
Yeah.
But it was either that, and then he draws Adnoz naturally, and you're just like, K.
Oh, is that what he did?
Uh-huh.
He didn't search for
I thought he
Adnos?
searched for it with Grim Tutor.
No, Grim Tutor got LED.
Oh,
Did he reveal it to you?
He said at the end of the game he got LED.
Oh, wow.
weird. Wow, he drew really well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay, there's.
some days.
Yeah. How long does it take for me to do an altar like that? So it's roughly, I haven't actually timed it exactly, but it's roughly 4 hours. I do it all digitally first. So I mock it up digitally, and then I show it to the person, so that since they're not exactly cheap, I try and make them affordable, but because it takes me that long, if I was charging any less, I think I'd be practically giving them away.
Yeah.
What's nice is Meal Solutions is having me do a total deck, which is consistent work, and they're 4-ofs, and so I'm able to kind of duplicate this process fairly quickly. So it takes me less time to do 4 than it would for me to do 4 different cards once.
Mm-hmm.
What paints do I use? I also alter cards, and I'm always wondering if I'm doing it right. So I don't follow the typical altarist. Most altars are using a golden fluid. It's a really thin paint, and they're going on with brush. I'm using an airbrush first as my base coat, and that's how I'm able to get the effects like the Young Pyromancer. Let me switch back.
Oh yeah.
The Young Pyromancer that's up here in the corner, or if I scroll down, the Spirit Guide, how I'm able to get the Spirit Guide dark but not totally black, or Kyre's lands that I've been doing for him. These are this island. I only use black, and it's all airbrush, and then I remove paint, so all of the color is actually already on the card. That was kind of the challenge that I set for myself, and it turned out.
Once
I
you
think it
told
turned
me
out
that,
pretty cool.
like I was just like
Yeah, there's only
super
black here.
impressed.
This
amazed.
is something totally different. But same thing
Same-
here. This
same
is all
thing.
airbrush, and you can see it. Once you know it's airbrush, it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So I haven't seen other people using airbrush altering. They're all doing it by hand, and I'm not as skilled at hand. I've had a couple people ask me for like a specific character on a card, and I'm going, I could do it, but it's going to take me forever. And so that's my process. And then I'm using a combination of paint with a brush and paint pens, markers, really extra fine. What's the brand name I'm using? There's several out there now. There's even a Sharpie brand paint pen, and it's oil-based, but they make acrylic base as well. And then I'm able to go over those with different colors to give it more depth. And there's fine liner marker as well, micron pens as well. So there's a lot going on. I found that the more you add, the more depth there is, the more detail.
Okay.
It improves the altar a lot. But yeah, it's fun to explore different techniques. That's kind of what's going on down here with this. This Loreseeker stone is just, this is actual ink from like a little jar of ink, and that gets splattered on somewhat randomly. And there's a whole set of these that I've done for Patrick.
Yeah.
He dug them, and so I kept going with some more. Whereas these are all trying to follow the same pattern. It's going to be curious. So I've done 4 now, right? And the idea was, hey, here's this cool altar. I think I could do something similar to these for the whole deck. But I want each card to feel unique as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder how far down, I'm on card 4 now, how many more I'm going to do before it's like, wow, I'm just repeating the same thing, or I've run out of ideas to make these things cool. Whereas right now, I still think each one has kind of its own feel and works out pretty well.
I think these two are the most similar. And even then, they're so different that I don't know. It's just kind of that round, that circle around the center,
Right.
the center of the arc.
Yeah, and so the Mill Solutions has a buddy who's playing Charbelcher, and there's two cards that don't come in foil.
Yeah.
And he wanted specifically something similar for Spirit Guide, and so that's why I did it like this. I think I would have tried to do something a little different, but he's like, no, I've seen those. I really like the circle and how the way it frames it.
Okay.
So now I got to try and figure out how to do a Tinderwall. If you want to
seen
look up
Tinderwall.
Tinderwall, there's not a lot of base material there to go with.
There really isn't.
But they need to. These guys want their cards to be playable in tournaments, and
Yep.
so the art needs to be recognizable.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go a full altar, and so I got to leave some of the existing Tinderwall there. We'll see.
Sadanu, welcome to chat. Welcome in, my friend.
All right, there's altars. We still got another 36 minutes to.
Well, I know what we can show next then.
We could take a look at the very, very, very cryptic commands. You haven't seen all of those yet.
I'll hand this back to you.
Let's see if I can find them.
Let's do that.
I don't know if there's a picture that shows all. I think there's 5 of them right now.
So I was informed by Bryce just before the stream started that the very cryptic command that was released for Unstable, there's not just one. There's very cryptic command, and there's like 5 different of them. You've seen 3 out of 5, Jorgensen. Oh, to answer your question earlier, Jorgensen, we have not cracked any Unstable. Sorry, I forgot to answer that. I don't think selling singles is something that we're going to do a lot of as far as Unstable goes. So most of what we're going to get is off of trade-ins. I, for one, want a foil Urza super, super bad.
All right, so here is one of them. This one I hadn't seen until today. Scry 3, create a 2/2 black rogue creature with menace. Add or subtract 1 or 1 from a number or number word on target spell or permanent until end of turn.
Okay.
And return all artifacts target players controls to their owner's hand. Yeah, totally.
Wow.
Makes sense. Okay. Then we've got these 3.
No.
And none of these are the ones you've already seen. All 4 of these so far are different.
Does this one actually have different art?
So the story here is Wayne England did this sketch, and he passed away. So he was the artist for the card. I'm not sure exactly how. I've seen this on the Facebook art group.
Okay.
He finished this, submitted it as a sketch, and you can see it's like the actual thing, and didn't actually get to finish the art. So coolly, very neatly, I think, Wizards put it on one of the cryptic commands.
One of them. I love it.
And it's just a pencil sketch, and then they've darkened it, so the actual sketch is a little lighter.
Oh, that's true. We could sell lands. And now that I think about it, that's a good idea.
You lost in the top 8 of the RPTQs. No, that's like a month worth of work right there.
I know.
Next time,
Jesse, his altars are incredible.
Next time.
It's
So
true. He really has stepped it up.
there's one of these that's silly. Which one was it?
Turn over target non-token creature.
Yeah.
Just makes it a morph.
So, but you could also turn over, if you turned over a Jace, Vryn's Prodigy, or another flip card.
Then it actually goes back to its original side.
Yeah.
That's
Or it would
hilarious.
flip back.
Well, I can't put all of these in my cube. Crap.
So, but we were talking about how some websites are like struggling with this, right? Because if Star City said, if you've ordered one of every card, we're going to give you one of every one. If you've pre-ordered the initial one that was spoiled, that's the one you're going to get. And it's not just cryptic commands. There's other
Oh my goodness.
cards as well.
That one says you can draw a card from your opponent's library.
I don't think it counts as transforming it, no. I don't know the rules, though. It just gets flipped over.
Yeah, we would need to look at the ruling on it, which is Just super, super weird.
So if you guys want to look, there's other cards. There's the secret bases have. I could pull them up here.
Oh, there's a secret base for each
fraction
times or watermark.
Yeah, and so there's different ones there, different arts for each one, right?
You're right. It would have 0 loyalty. That's a good. Or does it? It says it has. Yeah, I think it would be 0 because it's the same permanent.
Doesn't get exiled.
It doesn't get exiled and come back in.
And then there's this one's pretty cool.
I honestly don't know the answer to that question, Jorgensen.
This is a good time. This is pretty small.
Extremely slow zombie. There are multiple of these as well.
These are just different arts, but check out. Okay, so extremely slow zombie.
Oh.
It's very slowly reaching for you, but it's taking all the seasons to get to you.
Look at the flavor text.
Yeah.
Brains.
It stretches across all 4 cards.
Oh, that is fantastic.
So you do whatever you want. Yeah. That
exactly.
Makes sense. That makes sense. All right.
It does make sense.
I'm going to keep transitioning this way so we don't have to. 4 target Minotaurs. These ones are also seasonal.
Yeah, I'll just we saw the ice one.
These ones are also.
Let me pull these up for a moment.
All right, real quick. There they are. One's got an umbrella. There's a better. All right, what's the other cards? 'Cause some of the cards actually have different text, like the cryptic commands. Oh, the knights. Let's see if I can quickly find. Maybe we don't have pictures for them yet, but they're protection from different things.
Oh, okay.
And they have different
flavor text.
Awesome flavor text.
Okay. Does Bryce alter art on tokens? If commissioned, I'm sure he would.
Yeah, I've done
You did an elemental.
An elemental, yeah. And I was just trying to make it match kind of the pyro.
Yeah.
But I haven't done.
Hey, look. And DigiBot was like, oh.
If you wanted something that's in the idea of what you've already seen on my website, absolutely. If you want something that's totally different, like I said, some of the character stuff I could do, but it's more of a challenge. I think there's one other card too that we could take a look at. Oh, Garbage Elemental. Where'd that go? Those ones have different. Let's see if it's here. Yeah. All right, here we go.
They all have the same art, but they do different things. One of them has Cascade.
It's a 5-mana 3/3 Cascade, and when it enters the battlefield, it deals damage to target opponent.
I actually love that one.
But look, this one's a 5-mana 3/3. This one's a 5-mana 6/5.
6/5.
And this one's a 5-mana 2/4.
Battalion. Whenever Garbage Elemental and at least 2 other creatures attack, target creature can't block. But that has Last Strike. It's a 6/5. It can have Last Strike. That's fine. Frenzy 2.
And this is the one we saw, Frenzy 2. That
can
be blocked by wordy creatures. Yeah, and send me a message and we can discuss it for sure.
Yeah,
I'd be happy to, especially for you guys that are in chat that have been putting up with me looking at me showing you off all the altars.
I hadn't seen them, so I'm actually pretty happy that you're showing these.
Oh, these unstable ones, yeah. I meant.
Your altars, yeah.
Yeah. Different arts on Beast and Show.
Yeah. This is one I looked at and I was like, why?
Yeah.
Why are you printing a 6-mana 6/4 trample in an unset? Like, I understand that you're making the art funny, but like.
And this one has different flavor text as well.
Can you alter a pair of those jogger pants for men? The ones that were on the other page.
Yeah, some of them do. Yep. The cryptic commands and the junk elementals,
garbage elemental,
and the first strike knights have different rules text, just to be more difficult.
Yep, same name, different text.
So there would be at least 5 different very cryptic commands, I believe. Yeah, all the same name, all the exact same collector number, just to make things challenging. So they're going to have, like cryptic command A, B, C, D.
Try this one, because this is the same.
This is one of them, yeah. Let's see what these other ones are.
You did that one.
Oh, it's part of here.
Oh, okay. Novelemental.
These ones have all this different text in the.
They all have the same thing, but they're all.
Let's pull it up here.
They all have different flavor
text. Yeah, there's a whole story written out, and then we've got
Sly Spy.
These ones have different flavor texts.
Facing left in its art. Creatures without a face don't face anywhere.
That's great reminder text. That's awesome.
When Sly Spy deals combat damage to a player, roll a 6-sided die. That player loses life equal to the result. When Sly Spy deals combat damage to a player, that player reveals the top card of his or her library. Put that card into your hand, and you lose life equal to the converted mana cost. This is all I want to do. I just want to play like a million cards that just put my opponent's cards into my hand.
So here's the knights. Each one of these is different protection, and then also the flavor text is different on each one. So one of them says, "Woo, wait, for a minute I thought I'd forgotten the gravy boat," and then another one's the juicer, and another one's the melon baller, the tea cozy, and the olive forks. All the things that they thought they'd forgotten because it's a knight of the kitchen sink, so they throw everything at you.
Protection from even collector numbers. Protection from loose lips. What does that even mean?
Characters that have their mouth open.
It's
what it
I
says.
totally knew that. Protection from odd collector numbers. Protection from watermarks. That's pretty good.
Right.
Protection from, what is it, two-word names.
Yeah, naturally. So are we doing unstable drafts after Legacy Friday Night Magic? Yes.
Yeah, we have a midnight draft.
There will be. We have a Thursday midnight draft.
Yes, we have a Thursday midnight draft, and then we'll have drafts going on during FNM and after.
Yeah.
Naturally.
So if you want to do it after Legacy, yes. And then Saturday, there's a two-headed sealed and draft.
Yes.
And
we have a classic tournament.
And class.
We have a classic tournament.
And there's a team tournament.
There's also a
Standard
modern legacy team
on Saturday.
tournament.
So if
all of it.
You can play all day Saturday. You could do unstable sealed two-headed giant unstable draft into team.
Perfect.
And do a class tournament on the
We
side.
have bathrooms. We have food. We have food. We have food nearby. Just come, hang out, and you don't need to go anywhere.
and you'll get to have lots of fun. You'll get to get your mind in the right frame of mind for a team tournament.
I'm
unstable drafting.
I'm excited for the classic tournament. I'm really excited.
Well, you've probably played more class than anyone else, so.
You don't know that. You don't know.
Some cots? Yeah. All right, where are we? We're really close to round 2 starting. You right?
Oh, I know what we can look at next. Or maybe we want to save that. I wanted to look at the Patreon because we got the 5
right.
tokens posted.
We can do that next round.
Yeah, next round. Okay.
Not this. Don't click there. Click here.
Get everything updated. Get ready for some more magic. Because we saw so much magic.
Right.
In round 1.
It was really fast.
Yeah.
We saw you go to time playing Next Fic today on Magic Online. You had like 2 minutes left.
Yeah, and I was winning.
Well, you won, but
yeah.
We saw Brian not do that. You would have drawn that out, made it much more entertaining.
I would have. Yeah.
Tokens! Okay, we want to see tokens. Here we go. I'm with you. None of this not showing things.
All right, so this is the Patreon account for Cats and Cantrips, and we got 5 new tokens.
There's a new vampire.
Oh, let's link it. Or did he link? Was this the Patreon or I can't remember. Yeah, just link it in the chat so people can take a look.
We are live, Todd. We really are. We're here.
Oh yeah, this is live.
We're waiting for round 2 here to begin. Our round 1 ended quickly. It's a servo.
Yeah.
It's
So
a
we've
cute
got
servo.
we've got our white vampire. We've got our servo.
Yeah. This is a sweet servo. The way she was able to do the lighting on this is really cool.
I really like the gears that it shows behind the.
Yeah, and it's like really flat through most of the art, and then it pops right on you, which is sweet.
Yeah, it looks really good.
A Knight Ally.
A Knight Ally.
Because
I know that people around here are going to be really excited
if you
about
have
this one.
a soldier that needs to make some knights.
Man's closest ally and most loyal friend.
There we go. And a pirate.
We got
Arr,
our pirate. We got these.
Yeah, they're right here in our hand. It's a good pirate. And
Merit Lage.
it's fabulous. This one's great. It's like breaking out of the frame she made for it.
Uh-huh.
It's fabulous. Right?
We're at Merit Lage. We found it. It really is so good.
All right. Are we there? Are we almost
So,
there?
yeah, go ahead
There we
and
go.
go ahead and check out our new Patreon page if you're interested in getting these tokens first, and depending on how many you would like, we roll these out once a month. So for December, those are the 5 tokens that we are having roll out this month.
This is still Davis on Stinky Show, right? That was his map.
Yep.
And Davis is playing
Yeah, it is. It is updated.
Ben.
Yep.
I don't know what Ben's playing. We saw his map last week, right?
Well, isn't this our mono red player?
Yeah, maybe.
I think it is.
And our other match, we've got Nate versus TJ.
TJ. So TJ is usually on a Sultai something, and then Nate, I happen to know, is on Blue Blackberries.
Oh, should we watch that?
Yeah.
I can type.
You really can't. You're
There
doing
we
great.
Sometimes that little backslash thing just gets to me.
Usually he's on Sultai. We don't technically know yet, but let's just make the assumption. Yeah, let's head over there.
All right, here we go. These guys haven't even gotten their decks out. We had some people that were about to play Magic, but we're going to show some people that shuffle instead.
Yeah, so Leah's coming up here on Saturday to get us our shipment, which is really exciting. I know people around here are going to be crazy over the Merit Lage and the Knight Ally token, and then our standard players. We have the brand new the Lifelink Vampire and the Servo token. And I think the servos are just fantastic. And Brian is so funny. So I saw a message go out to Leah today, and Brian goes, "So we're gonna need a Death Touch Wolf, 1/1, and we're gonna need a white blue bird, 1/1," and I can't imagine what Leah actually thought about this, because this is so Brian being like, we're playing a lot of Nyx Fit around here, and we don't have all the tokens for it, so can we make those a thing? I'm like, Brian. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want those tokens for my deck.
As long as he did Brian become a, what's the tier? The hero we need? You can submit one idea.
One
token.
idea.
No.
Yes.
He's on idea like 6.
Yeah. Yeah,
right.
See, now you understand why, Leah. It is for the Nyx Fit deck that we've been running a lot lately on MTGO, and Brian was playing it last round. The deck is just so much fun to play, and it's been a lot of fun to watch as well. So that's why we're looking for those two.
We'll probably put him back up on camera here.
We probably only need to do one of those to start, Leah.
Or all of them.
We could do all of them. They're not exactly the most desirable tokens.
No.
So
not really.
One of them would be fun, but I understand.
Yeah.
Whoa, you actually have the OG like bird token from Devscape? Thomas, you got to talk to me about that one. Unless Leah wants to make them first, which I'm not sure. Leah has all sorts of ideas that she needs to be getting done right now. I don't think the birds. This is me personally. I don't This is my deck, and we don't need the birds and the Death Touch Wolf right now. I think we'll be okay.
All right.
Once I start submitting, once I start submitting,
there you go.
My ideas, then I'll probably slowly work towards that. But
Nate's gonna start off with the Thoughtseize, going down to 17 life.
I think that's a pretty good thing
And
to do.
TJ is explicitly guessing that he has a Force of Will in hand here.
Definitely has a Force of Will. All right.
I'm maybe
So we
gonna
see-
counter this.
We see Force of Will, Counterspell, 2 Ponders, Tarmogoyf, and a Liliana. Wow.
Sure. You can't really take a Ponder here. That's probably not what he's wanting to take. And he's going to go with the Goyf.
Yeah, just take the threat. He's 2 black sources off of Liliana. I'm pretty sure that's a fine thing. Jorgensen, my priorities are all out of whack. The birds, top of the list. Well, there you heard it, Leah. Top of the list. Blue white 1/1 birds.
Yeah.
We already have a blue swan song bird, but now we need a different bird.
Yeah, definitely.
Because everybody and their dog plays Dovescape in their deck, right?
I think her bird that she already it could pass for a blue-white bird.
Brian's using them.
Yeah.
So
it's not like it's so ridiculously only blue that. Yeah.
They're 2/2s, but still.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. All right. Looks like Nate has a brainstorm. We're probably going to see here. After a pond. Ooh, no ponder from TJ. He's leaving up hard counterspell.
Yeah.
He wants to counter something.
Wants to keep Nate from progressing drastically.
Mutavault says no.
I progress anyway. Meh.
Cool. That'd be cool. A custom commander.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah, Dovescape's incredible in this Nyx Fit deck, though, because it just completely shuts down certain decks.
Mhm.
You throw down a Curse of Death's Hold alongside of it, and you win.
Yeah. Thomas, you did all that with Dovescape in your deck? If so, that is like the coolest thing I've ever heard.
There's the other ponder. Going to search for a third land here from TJ. He's still not on any black.
Is it so absurd to expect a Stormcrow token? Is it? Is it so absurd?
No.
No, it's actually not absurd.
No.
Oh, you didn't. Other people have. Okay. I was going to say, I'm like, if you actually did, then, like, that is the most amazing thing I've ever heard. All right. Looks like Ponder is finally going to resolve. Draw card. We've got an Underground Sea.
There's a black source. Still has hard counterspell up. Still has Force of Will. We know he's got a Liliana and anything else? Do we know?
He hasn't used the Force yet. So Force and Liliana. I see a Brainstorm in his hand, but I don't think we know too much more, right? This is an Unearth.
Sure.
He's like, I want this Tarmogoyf that you made me discard back. Please and thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And Nate's got to be looking at things like, that's kind of annoying, but here's a Fatal Push.
Get all the counterspells out of his hand here. See if TJ wants to fight over this.
I think he will. If he fights over this, then it may clear the way for a Liliana to resolve in the future.
Yep.
It looks like okay. We're gonna brainstorm.
Or Nate could get down a Bitter Blossom or something instead if he forces here. Yep. Looks like he still has another force in hand as well. But he's pitching the counterspell. So TJ's got to be running out of other blue cards to pitch here. And that Goyf is instant sorcery land. It's a 3/4 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, he's got that little Goyf Rocks dice next to the Goyf, which is awesome in play in person, but just a little too small for on stream.
A little bit. We need to get a super one made. Just super.
So that Brian can put the
Gwei
whole thing
Frogs.
down and cover up all of the cards with
Yep,
it.
that sounds like something Brian would do.
This massive dice that he gets down that cover up the entire text box of his walking ballista.
Yeah, on the bright side, we can see the graveyards quite well. We do happen to know that this is a 3/4.
It's a brainstorm. Nate likes to brew decks.
Yes.
And he does a good job of brewing some wacky things. Sometimes
He
they don't
really
do
is.
so well. I wouldn't be surprised if this is not just some stock fairies list.
I did get to talk to him a little bit before the event, and you know, I asked him, I'm like, all right, what have you brewed up for this event? And he goes, actually, I'm still on blue-black fairies. And I
okay.
went, okay.
Yep.
Apparently, he's 6-2-1 with fairies so far. So lots and lots of wins, and we know that he won round 1, or else he wouldn't be right here, right? So, Ensnaring Bridge.
Counter this. Can you do it? He's got 2 cards in hand.
Yep. So this is another force from TJ, and we know that there's a Snapcaster Mage in Nate's hand.
Yeah.
This is going to get Fatal Push and take care of the Tarmogoyf nice and easy now that 2 forces have been, you know, and a counterspell, or I guess that got forced away.
Yeah.
Yep. Take care of a Mutavault. That is A-okay with Nate. And coming through for, looks like 3.
4 now.
4, because of Ensnaring Bridge. Brainstorm.
Just finds a fatal push naturally. It's easy.
Yeah, we don't need
easier.
Snapcaster.
Yeah.
Snapcaster should be drawing cards, not killing things.
Nate's done a good job so far this game of proactively making TJ do stuff, right? He's made TJ use Force of Wills, and so his card advantage is up. TJ could have had Hard Counterspell, which would have been a 1-for-1. He could have had True Name Nemesis, which wouldn't have been fatally pushed. But he passed those away for Force of Wills.
Yep,
And it
here
looks
comes
like,
another Wasteland.
I mean, if he had the Wastelands earlier, he could have, TJ maybe could have played this a little slower. How about that?
Yeah, maybe. I do think that TJ was really, really aggressive with the way that he's cast his spells this game. He's trying to push through a wall, and Nate is just fine with this. You know, like all he's had to answer is a Tarmogoyf.
Yeah. It's worked.
And we know that, or did Liliana get shuffled away?
It
Or
got
is that-
seized. Oh,
Did it get? No, it's not in the graveyard.
no, that was the Goifon. So
Yeah.
it must have gotten brainstormed away.
Either that or that's still what he's holding. And I don't think that's what
And he
he's
just
holding.
hasn't seen the other black source. That could be.
Yeah. Deathray Shaman.
I think it's gonna die.
Blue to Delta comes down. Now we see Snapcaster Mage, Thoughtseize. Well, let's start with the Thoughtseize.
All right, so there's the. Oh, it's a brainstorm.
Wow.
Interesting.
He didn't... Why
Brainstorm in response.
Why didn't he brainstorm? You know, Thomas, it's not like it's a bad thing that he fought over the Goyf, but it's possible he just didn't realize how, you know, here's how I look at it. There's at most stages in the game, there's a person asking questions and there's a person answering, right? I just don't think he realized how willing Nate is to be the deck that answers things. You know, he probably started off and he was like, "Oh yeah, I can push through a couple counterspells. It's gonna be fine." But then he sees Snapcaster Mage, and then he sees, you know, like multiple fatal pushes, and now he's looking at things going, I may have wanted to fight over some different things, right? But Liliana is an amazing card, and this could easily resolve. And if it does, this is going to spell trouble for Nate.
Nate's got a Spell Scutter Sprite. If he had
Spell Scutter?
Spell, what is it?
Spell Stutter?
Spell Scutter. That makes sense.
You did great.
Right, it's perfect.
Spell
It's a
Stutter.
Sprite. If he had still had the 2 Mutavaults, he could have countered this Liliana right here.
Yeah, and he ended up forcing away the True Name Nemesis. Pretty surprising. I think if you really wanted to... Well, that's another thing to mention is, like, once you've started that aggressive plan, when are you going to give up being aggressive, right? Like, or are you just going to keep powering through? I think there was a point in this game where TJ decided not to be aggressive anymore, and that's when he pitched True Name Nemesis, right? Now
he was being not necessarily aggressive. He was trying to play fast. He was trying to get a clock and keep the clock that he already had, instead of keeping the threat that was harder to answer.
And after that brainstorm, Nate gets to see, okay, well, all I have to do is just flash in this little 1/1 and take care of Liliana. Not a problem.
Yes.
To counter Bridge. Yeah, he did. Because Bridge was going to shut him down. So it was...
Sultai has an answer to Bridge in Abrupt Decay.
Yeah, it does. Like I said, though, I'm not saying that TJ's plays are wrong. I'm just saying,
right.
I think that's where he lost control of this game. He's still definitely in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, exactly.
Or he could have just left up hard counterspell. We're just playing through the different possibilities of these. Sultai's interesting that way because you can transition mid-game. You can become a more aggro-aggressive deck, or you can become a much more, I'm going to hang out here, take a few turns, and sometimes, especially when you're on like the Stifle Wasteland game plan, sometimes it's hard to know which to be, especially if you're not sure what you're playing against.
All right, so this is a Thoughtseize, and Force of Will is going to get hard cast.
Okay, I'll take the Force of Will with my Thoughtseize and not lose 2 life.
And number 6 comes down for Nate, and he just keeps getting in for 1. And look, the fetch land's helping.
Yeah, he's got a Mutavault as well. He could have attacked with there.
No, this is not Sultai Delver. This is a Sultai control list.
Yep.
Here, I have a basic swamp there.
When you see Liliana the Veil, usually that's the control list. It often plays Hymn to Turok, and Goyf is often your big threat.
Then he was never beat down. You see, and that's why I've said a lot of the things that I've said. No, I've played these mid-range to control decks plenty of times, and there are moments where you need to understand that you need to. Exactly, Thomas. I understand that you're just making a point. No worries, but I'm just kind of running off of it. There are moments where you want to start being aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
I think he started this game a little too early. That's all.
Thanks, MTG Bot. I like how Admiral, as soon as he comes in, hey, what have I missed? 1 hour and 2 minutes.
You missed a really, really fast round, Admiral Nobeard. You didn't miss much.
No.
Storm did storm things.
Stormed.
And Show and Tell did Show and Tell things.
It
showed the Emrakul thing.
And then it showed.
Nothing much. Welcome in. And back to me agreeing with you.
Oh, it looks like Nate drew a Jitte and chose not to run it out there. He could have played it and equipped. I guess he's assuming TJ's got an answer.
Perhaps. I think he does have a Force of Will in hand, and he's happy hardcasting it.
Yeah.
Ant or Tess? I believe it's an Ant. No, it is Tess.
Yeah, he's playing Tess.
Yeah, Tess. Yeah, I was never arguing with you, Thomas. Never. Just using your point to create discussion. The spell stutter sprite that could.
It could. It's getting there. First it was a Snapcaster, and then now it's sprite. So okay, let's. Ant is. Man, I always get that.
Ad nauseum tendrils.
Yeah, and Tess plays Cunning Wish. So he was playing
Burning Wish, right?
Yeah, Burning Wish. There we go. That makes sense. So he was playing Tess. He played Cabal Ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Not Rite of Flame. That's the difference. Yep. And the.
It was Ant?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because he's going Ad Nas.
That's right.
Which is how he won. This game 2 was
with
Ad Nas. There it is. Liliana gets hard cast Force of Willed.
Mm-hmm.
A Liliana that would have killed the sprite.
Yeah. Tessa's bad version of Ant. That's funny. It says non-interactive. He knows all about Storm.
That's great.
All right, so now that the Force of Will has been cast, his hand is not quite as or doesn't give him quite as much permission, and now he's choosing to get this Jitte down onto the Spellstutter sprite, and he's presenting lethal this next turn.
Woot! It took a while, but
It
the
did.
sprite is going to probably get there.
I would assume so.
No Bitter Blossoms. No, don't need those. Just one fairy. That's all you need.
Yeah, the Epic Storm, Burning Wish, Rite of Flame, Chroma.
That's the deck that I'm altering.
Yeah.
It's that one. And that's the form I belong. You'd think I would know this, but I don't play Storm, so I purposefully just block. See, I've already forgotten.
Oh, yeah.
It's Ant or Tess, one or the other.
All Storm. They're just Storm. Okay, so we've got a Fatal Push. Spellstutter Sprite's going to come down and counter Fatal Push. And then I assume he's going to pump this Spellstutter Sprite a couple times and end the game or something.
The spell stutter sprite.
Spells to stutter.
Counter target spell with convert mana cost X or less, where X is the number of fairies you controlled, and he had three at that point.
Mm-hmm. Mutavault is a fairy.
It's a fair card.
Totally fair card.
Mm-hmm.
I remember playing this card in Standard.
It's a Rebecca
It was fun.
Guai art.
Mm-hmm.
Guai.
All right.
Guai.
So
One or the
that's game one
Do it.
in the books.
Update this match that we watched.
Update the thing.
I think we just used all of our actual analysis up on Sultai, so now we're just gonna say what's happening. Ben versus Davis.
Let's take a look. Take a look.
It looks like Davis is blood mooning
Definitely.
because he's rude.
Because there's two of them? Is that what tipped you off?
Yeah, that's why he's not blood mooning. He's blood mooning. You change the way you emphasize that when there's two of them. Counter half of the spells in the format. Yeah, that's what it says.
That is exactly
Counter
what
all the
Spellstutter
spells
said.
except for Eldrazi.
And no Gurmag Anglers.
Those
Can't-
zombie fish can't be countered by a measly
No, but
stuttering
they don't,
sprite.
They don't die to all the normal things, too. That card is cheaty. Take a closer look here. All right, what are we looking at? This looks like lands to me. I can't quite see the hand well.
Oh, well then he's not a jerk. Blood mooning lands, that's okay.
Oh, okay. See, I wasn't aware of when it's okay to Blood Moon and when it's not.
that's when. So
Okay.
if you play Blood Moon and you Blood Moon somebody that's playing, I don't know, like Delver, then you're a jerk.
Oh,
But if you Blood Moon lands, then you are on the light side of the
look at that.
force.
He just used a Wasteland to cast Pyroblast on Strontail.
That he's just showing off now
Yeah, he is.
because he had a Taiga,
And he attacks with Grim Lavamancer,
which is the way that card is meant to be used.
which can be tutored by Grim Tutor.
Yeah, and he lives in a monolith or likes to look at monoliths or something. I don't know.
That's why you play a little Mage Mentor. Oh, you just have to have 7 Merfolk in play,
Yeah,
and then you can counter Angler.
right. That's the process. That's how I like to.
You can pilot. All right, crop rotation. Let's get rid of a Taiga.
We're going to go away from this game about as soon as possible. I mean, we're going to stay here and watch these Blood Moons do their thing.
I don't know. This is looking interesting. He can go get a land that's a mountain. Or a basic plains.
Yep.
What is he on?
Whoa.
What is this deck? Is this an Agrolome?
What's the white card that you play?
This isn't... Oh, is this like the Punishing
Abzan?
or Punishing Maverick or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah,
Or
I think that's what we're seeing here.
attack with 3 pirates and play the one guy? Much easier.
That one guy.
Admiral Beckett Brass. There you go. Mr. Toad came today? Oh, that's so awesome. Then why aren't you here, Leah? What the heck? I wanted to see some Mr. Toad's, what is it,
Right?
Wild Ride, or
Yeah.
is that what it is?
Yeah. Cycle, stop. Almost won that time.
Turn 1, fluctuator. Here we go.
yeah. Let's go to game 2.
Cool.
Oh, I thought they were done shuffling. If I was a middle-aged woman pirate, perfect.
Thanks for sharing, Admiral.
Yeah.
So, what Admiral's saying is that it's fine to have no beard and be a pirate.
Yeah.
That's what he's saying.
Yep. Here we go.
Whatever. You'll win some matches. I bet you anything.
Ooh, he
You'll catch
keeps it
some
on
people
top.
off guard.
TJ is going to.
Then the stream becomes a meme stream.
Yeah. We're already trying to do that as hard as we can, right?
Right.
Here's a Manifest Destiny. Here's Nick's Fit.
Nick's Fit. You know what I've loved about this store though? Like people really are brewing. People are trying new things, and we still have those players who are playing Delver. We still have our top of the line Miracles players. You know, there's still people playing lands and other top tier decks, but we do have a couple players who prefer to try to mess with the format a little bit, which is a lot of fun for us as casters because we want to see new things. All right.
And part of that is definitely if you get to play every Tuesday or every Tuesday and Friday, then you can feel comfortable like, hey, let's try this out. Let's see what happens.
You're the fattest pirate in the West.
Far too much interaction from non-interactive. That makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. That's literally how it goes in the song. That was just a beautiful song, Admiral. You'll have to sing it to me sometime.
What do you take here? You got to play with Jace Vryn's Prodigy.
Wow, this is a curse scroll?
Yeah, Curse Scroll. Great card.
Hello, curse scroll.
Even if it's not a great card, it's one of the coolest arts.
So Collective Brutality, Bitter Blossom. I would be tempted to take Bitter Blossom, but it's between Bitter Blossom and Jace. Now, if I'm TJ, I have more removal for Jace than Bitter Blossom.
Except you might not have a counterspell for Jace because of Cavern of Souls.
Perhaps.
Oh dear. We're gonna get a land. Leaves the rest up. This is great. Anytime you can put Curse Scroll and Bitter Blossom in the same deck,
It's basically the best thing ever.
you're doing all right.
Yep. So keep in mind, this is something unique. Bitter Blossom is in the bin.
Right.
Now that is an enchantment. Not only that, it counts as a tribal card, which is a card type, and Tarmogoyf will have tribal, enchantment, sorcery, and land.
That other thing, the land thing, the fetch land thing.
So the count is 4. All right, Cavern of Souls. Now, is this going to name fairy or is it going to name human? Got to name human, right?
Probably. The only fairy that you're wanting to play is the spell.
The stutter.
I can't say it.
The spell's stutter sprite.
Tribal enchantments.
Tribal enchantments. Hey, you know what? All sorts of things in Magic make me happy, all right? It's the little things.
Smash. Take 4. Ooh, the full power.
It's possible. We know that there's there's Ensnaring Bridge in Nate's deck. We know that there's Liliana out of TJ. Yeah, very possible.
Probably not. It's gonna die.
More than likely gonna die. And look, hey, look, Liliana. Now he's just gonna -2, target himself. All right. Ooh, this has gone very, very quickly in TJ's favor.
Yeah, this is where Collective Brutality. Sometimes you wish it was a different card.
Yep.
That could kill a really large creature. Do you still have Brutalities in Nick's Fit?
Yes, 2.
2 main deck?
Yeah. Card's great.
It's just
But for Nyx Fit, it's a little different because really you're just trying to answer like a certain card. Tarmogoyf isn't really all that scary.
Right.
You can just chump block it with like silly things like
Yeah.
silly tokens all day. Whereas Deathrite Shaman, you can't beat it. So Collector Brutality can kill Deathrite Shaman.
and act as a sack outlet if you have to, and
Right.
do other fun things.
So it looks like he's going to take a look at the hand and also Draining Gain.
Bye, Jace. Oh no, not by Jace.
That's weird. Here's a Curse Scroll. So whatever. Ensnare Bridge, heavy breathing. Yeah, no kidding.
It's getting discarded. Whatever's in his hand.
Yeah, Ensnaring Bridge is another card. Oh yeah, that's right. Collector Brutality can only hit an instant or a
That
sorcery.
makes. See, I was just keeping everybody on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Making sure, paying attention.
Curse Scroll's got this. Gets to kill Liliana this turn, and then the next turn you start
Kill Jace.
killing Jace. Meanwhile, you're taking like 4 damage to the face every turn. It's great.
Yeah.
Totally a path to victory.
There's no way that the race is in TJ's favor right now.
No way.
It's really large. It's bigger than that. Yeah.
What if Brutality could kill walkers? I don't know. But after playing Nyx Fit today, the fact that we can't deal with Jace in that deck we had to make some changes. We had to put a card back in. We also had we put a Vindicate in the main.
Ooh.
Which the deck casts 3 drops so easily that Vindicate is actually a great card in the deck.
Yeah, I like Vindicates. Seems like a good time. It's kind of like versatile.
Yeah, it's kind of versatile. It can like kill one thing or the other thing.
Anything. Any one thing.
Or the third thing.
It's not. It doesn't discriminate.
No, it doesn't.
It's a non-discriminatory.
It's
kill
nice
spell.
to just have a kill spell that's like, I'm going to kill Grimag Angler. Or Jace.
Yeah.
Or that land
that
that's
land.
super annoying.
It's sorcerer speed.
It is sorcery speed.
Ooh, to the slaughter off
slaughter.
the top.
That would be incredible. Attack Liliana. Liliana
Die,
goes to the
Liliana.
bin. And guess what gets bigger? Tarmogoyf.
Yep. So Nate's dead in, a turn or two. He does have a Mutavault as a chump block.
Yeah, but that's not going to get him far.
He could use a Vindicate right now.
He could.
Yeah.
So weird that you would bring up a random card like that.
I don't know why I thought of it. It's just like an answer that he doesn't have in his deck. Jace doing the brainstorming thing.
Doing the brainstormy thing.
Anything that kills lands. There
Yeah.
you go. Aw,
No, Curse Scroll.
that's not fair. If you
Why?
destroy a cursed scroll, do you get cursed? Is that what happens?
That's how I feel it happens. Yeah, Brainstorm's probably not going to get him out of this one.
No.
A Fatal Push would be... Oh, he doesn't have land Fatal Push, though. There's a Fatal Push. I don't think he got the land.
Nope.
You can always just activate this mid-vault. Yep, he'll just pack it up.
1/1.
So is this Fey deck basically a version of Lilypox? I'm not sure.
Our other match is over.
Hearing the cards being played makes me feel like this is a cube. Don't mention cube right now, okay? You'll get me all excited.
Ooh, are you? How many? What new cards are you going to put in the cube?
From
Unstable.
Unstable, so far the only one I know that I'm putting in is Crowstorm. I really haven't taken a good look at Unstable. I've kind of skimmed through it, but I haven't really taken the cube into consideration yet. We'll see. I definitely plan on adding some things, especially I do want to make like an unpart of the cube that if people want to play a little more silly, then I can add that in with everything else.
X, yeah.
Yeah, I'll put an X into that part of it. I really want to put Urza in.
Urza could be really interesting.
So funny. But we'll see.
Yeah, yep. There's enough variety in Unstable that I think everybody has kind of a favorite thing going on.
Yeah, I mean, I could put in the all 5 uncryptic commands, right? There are 5 of them.
I think so. I think there's 5 different, very cryptic commands.
You're a fan of Earl's Lawyer and Earl the Squirrel. I mean, there's a ton of cool things. The problem is like the card actually needs to be good enough, which is that's the issue, not.
Some of the foils might be a little hard to acquire at first, too.
Yes. Like X is a very powerful card. You get to cast cards from your opponent's hand. This is cube. Like
right.
Everything's gonna be good.
Perfect.
So that is definitely on the power level that I'm looking for. I'm sure that Urza is going to be very powerful too. Having all 5 colors isn't the easiest thing. My cube's pretty good with mana though.
Yeah, there's a pirate planeswalker that got spoiled, right? Cares about pirates?
I haven't seen anything yet.
I'll show you. Once we have some.
Okay. Nothing crazy's happened yet. Thank goodness. Turn 1. Thoughtseize.
Just like last game.
We're going to see Fatal Push, Umezawa's Jite, Snapcaster Mage, Ensnaring Bridge, Liliana the Last Hope. And an Underground Sea.
Well done. You
I named all the cards.
all of those ones.
I did. I've been practicing.
Fairy to stutter over. So
nope, no fairies to stutter.
Easy. What do you take here? Fatal Push? Bridge, so you don't have to deal with it?
I don't think it's Fatal Push, and I don't think it's Jite. The other 3 cards would be the cards I'm looking at. Where he has Abrupt Decay, I feel like Ensnaring Bridge is something that's going to get answered eventually. So, now I've kind of narrowed it down to either Snapcaster or Liliana. If you take Snapcaster, then they only get to Fatal Push once.
Yeah, Admiral, my opinion, we can look at it in a little while here, but I think it might be standard playable, and that's probably about it. Things that care about a tribal, like the Dinosaur Planeswalker, even that hasn't really seen any play.
Right.
It's a good way of making new Planeswalkers that casual players can really like and really latch onto, while not being overpowered. It's a 6-mana Planeswalker.
Last good Red-Black Walker was Sarkhan. Sarkhan was not all that good. It was nothing further than mediocre. He was really cool. He was a really cool Planeswalker.
Red Blossom is a good top deck.
Yeah.
That's probably what he was going to take.
It resolved.
Could have taken it.
And Sylvan Library comes down onto your side.
2-mana enchantment versus 2-mana enchantment. Fight.
I wonder which one's better.
Yeah, scrap Duretti.
Yeah, Duretti was printed in Conspiracy. Never got to see any standard play or, anything like that.
It gets some legacy love though. It's cool.
Oh, I'm not arguing with you, Admiral. Sark on the Mat is awesome.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Wasn't it Bolas?
It was probably Bolas.
All right. Well, I think Wickelmack here has lawyered us all. You're right. He belongs in a stack. That's sweet. I have never seen the black-red Duretti in a legacy deck.
Yeah,
I've heard about it, but I've never actually seen it be played like that.
It looks kind of fun when you get to play expensive spells and they deal a whole bunch of damage to your opponent because they have Delve.
Yeah, the Team Reform, I actually think that card is really powerful, but never really saw any play. Duretti in Standard would be fun. Oh, it goes in Tez? Oh, now I want to play it even more, Jorgensen. All I want to do is play Tez, and nobody lets me.
Does anybody prevent you?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know why.
It's a unicorn right now, but when it picks up the Jete, it'll be a knifeicorn.
A canificorn?
Yeah. Why is it a unicorn right now?
I have no idea.
There's a reason.
Maybe if you just put the Jete on your forehead.
There we go.
Awesome, Jorgensen. I'm excited.
See, someone will let you.
Thank goodness. Jorgensen, you're in the good people kind of category. Tez prevents him. So close to good enough. I don't know about that. I'm missing a lot of paper cards for Tez. At some point, I'd like to get the stuff on MTGO. I'm sure I'll be streaming a lot of Tez like in future MTGO streams, but that's probably a ways away. Right now, I'm
It also needs
working
like
on some other things.
1 or 2 cards to just put it over the top, right?
There's an all foil Tez deck from the Card Kingdom Legacy streams.
There's no. Oh, there is a
With
already.
with the ready, yeah. Well, Jesse, that is awesome. Usually, I've been streaming standard on Mondays. Although
So there's some decent prison decks in Legacy.
Yeah, there are. There definitely are.
I mean, I guess it depends on what your term of prison is. If you are blood mooning, chalicing, and ensnaring bridge.
Oh, without just rebuilding Lantern? Yeah. Alright. Thoughtseize happens. It's going to take care of some stuff. We see a Liliana the Last Hope that's still in Nate's hand.
So, prison with no hope of getting out, the deck is Nyx Fit.
Nyx Fit.
It works.
Yeah, so Nyx Fit, there's a 3 enchantment lock, and you can just chain to get it. That's what we've been playing recently. Admiral No Beard. It's a Dovescape plus Curse of Death's Hold plus I can never remember.
Usually that's
Overwhelming Splendor.
Overwhelming Splendor, either or.
Once that's happened, the game is over.
And sometimes you only need one of those cards to really, any 2 of those cards to completely lock your opponent. But sometimes Overwhelming Splendor does it by itself.
Northwest Dork, that is awesome. I built it in paper as well, and I've been enjoying it so much. So you should definitely link up with me and talk to me about it, because I'm trying to brew it. I'm trying to get the right things done with it. I think we've made some good steps, but you should give us a whisper and talk to me more about it, because that's what I've been working on as well.
Nate just attacks with the 1 fairy here.
Yeah, Leovold makes Jete just not quite as good as he would like it to be. However, he still just gets to like pump and kill stuff. Kill the opponent in a couple turns. This is a 3-turn clock with Jete. Just with the 1 fairy. Snapcaster is going to get cast. This is interesting. So he's not going to use the Snapcaster or anything but double block.
Yeah. And he could have done this differently.
Yep, Fatal Push Snapcaster.
Okay. So he could have equipped the Jete to a different fairy to use it as a blocker that way.
Jesse, that is awesome.
And I think what TJ wanted to do there is he wanted to wait for the double block. And unless a fairy died there and I didn't see it. All right. So Nate keeps building up more fairies. He's got 1 with a Jete.
Cavern of Souls. Where he has a Snapcaster, I feel like he's going to name human. Humans for Jace and Snapcaster and Fairy for Spellstutter Sprite.
Yeah, and he can play as Liliana. That's in his hand there with the Ratchet Bomb. And keep getting back Snapcasters for a little while as well.
Jorgensen.
Yeah.
Liquid metal coating.
Yeah.
Oh goodness
There you
gracious! What, you just DAC emblem and just start liquid metal coating everything?
Mm-hmm. Snapcaster gets spell snared. And a whole bunch of attacks come in here. All right.
It looks
Fairy
like
gets pumped up.
this is 5, 6, 7 damage. Puts him to 5. And this is a lot for TJ to answer. Even if he's able to deal with this one fairy, he's still going to take 3. Probably going to be a pretty quick end through the next couple of turns, I would assume.
I have yet to test out Bitter Blossom in the Delver deck that I'm playing.
Really?
I want to see it happen though. I want to see if it's any good at all. How about that? In some matchups, I think it could be great.
I think Bitter Blossom is a great card. Call it DAC and deck. Make DAC and mug them.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of the deck Brian and I have been playing in Vintage, right? It's Thieves. But playing 8 mana is Splendor 8? Splendor's 8, right?
Yeah.
8 mana enchantments in Legacy. That's where it's at.
It's completely normal.
6 mana Dovescape, 8 mana.
Yep.
And 5 mana -1/-1.
Moment of silence for top. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. You're not supposed to laugh during a moment of silence.
You're not supposed to talk during a moment of silence.
It was a short moment.
Sorry.
Like, how long is a moment of silence? Sometimes it feels like way too many moments.
One unit of moment.
I don't know. You go to a
How do
football
you
game and they ask for a
measure
moment
that?
of silence, and it's like 4 minutes,
Yeah, seriously.
which is really where you want to be.
Moment of silence. See, 1 white, instant.
Yeah.
Target player skips his or her next combat phase.
Right?
this
It's
turn.
that long.
It's a moment, Bryce. All right, Leopold's gonna come in. We've got another Snapcaster being flashed in here.
That's the second Ambush Viper we've had.
It's working too. All right, double block Leopold. 2 mana.
We're having the same result.
Got an
It's demanded an answer both times.
Abrupt Decay. This is gonna kill. What is it gonna kill?
You have to be quiet during the entire combat step. But then how do you move past the combat step if you have to be quiet? Like hand gestures?
I don't know. I don't. I'll decide when the moment of silence is over.
And second main phase.
All right, attack for 3.
Fairies, attack.
TJ's down to 2. Can't deal with all these fairies.
Oh. Sign language. yeah.
Sign language, obviously.
I don't actually know how to sign. I'll move to my second main phase. I didn't learn that one.
I didn't either. And we got a Vendilion click. Wow, this has been really interesting watching what Nate can do off of 3 lands.
Yeah, you can leave him those cards. You can keep those.
You think about a deck like Delver and 3 lands at their top end is like normal, right? This Fairies deck, it doesn't seem like 3 lands is where you want to stop.
Don't know how to sign? Disqualified.
Get out.
You talked during the moment of silence. Sorry, that's it.
You know how to sign? Admiral Nobeard, prove it.
That's great. I can prove that I don't know how to sign. He draws a ponder off the top, slams it down like it was gonna. I don't like. I guess if he had specifically a Toxic Deluge there, but now that doesn't work. Or if you brought in a Sultai Charm, whatever the
Just a little cap. Emotes don't count. I guess I didn't really make that rule in time, though, huh? We can only choose to trust you. An Engineered Plague. Yeah, that's all you can really. That is all you can really hope for.
Hey, Nate gets it with
Something
fairies.
like that. All right, so Nate's going to take this round, and of course, our other round is over.
Very over.
Because that's what happens when Sneak and Show is a deck. They either lose fast or they win really fast.
We're right at about 50 minutes, so this should be right about the end of round 2.
Excellent. You want to talk about the other set real quick, and I can run and grab us some more beverages?
Oh, the other, yes. It's just a card, but I'll show you.
Oh, is it only one card?
Da-da-da-da.
Oh yeah. So
This is what was
this
spoiled.
is actually the Planeswalker for the pre-con deck.
So it's the bad version.
Yes,
Of
this
the
is
card
this
that's
is this is the bad version. You can tell because of the card number.
Because it's 201 of 196. Yes.
Yes,
is that
Jesse,
name.
that is Nate Golia. Yeah.
So that makes a little bit more sense. He costs 6, and he does okay things, but we'll have him as a
nothing-
better version.
Hopefully.
It's like
yeah.
a 4-mana guy. And you got to say, Angrath, or Angrath, or I don't know. Maybe somebody that can sign can tell me how to say it. I'm not sure.
All right,
Not sure.
what beverage can I get you?
Oh, I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah.
Lies.
Lies. All right, we'll update some of this stuff here while we get set for round 3. Round 3 of 4 rounds of Legacy. Man, aren't Tuesdays great? You guys gotta watch live Legacy. Use that -3 to get Emrakul back. Return target pirate card from your graveyard to the battlefield. I don't think that's going to work. And Emrakul's kind of hard to get in your graveyard and keep there. Sorcerer speed. I don't think we've seen the other Planeswalker, right? Maybe we have, and I just didn't. That's the only one I've seen. There's a Vraska as well.
Yeah, mono black.
And a 2/2 Goblin Pirate.
Yeah, so these are all the cards that come in the precons that will like. This card has this, when you have this specific Planeswalker.
Yeah.
All these look pretty bad though.
6 mana, but it gives us an idea of what Planeswalkers we're going to see. We'll probably see a mono black Planeswalker
A new Vraska and
in pirate garb. Arr.
scheming Gorgon.
And they often have nothing in common with these abilities.
Usually.
You have to destroy a creature if you're a Gorgon, though, right? And we've got... That might be the actual art for Angrath.
Maybe? I'm not sure.
Nope.
Ingress Fury. I was like, I don't
The
think
answer
so.
was just a little
That
further
doesn't-
down.
That doesn't look like a Planeswalker art.
I'm good at this thing. Destroy target creature, and it deals damage to a player, and you can go find your
Your bad Planeswalker.
Planeswalker. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's a monkey pirate.
Thing.
Goblin pirate. It looked
2 mana 2/2. Best card ever.
Monkey. It's not it's a goblin. And a vampire champion.
4 mana 3/3 Death Touch. It's exactly what you want always.
Because she's got a sword, and so if she touches you, you die.
That's how it works.
Yep. There's a sword right there.
No Beard, that is like the most amazing story I've ever heard. Thank you for sharing.
These are all legacy staples right here.
Arcane Adaptation, yeah. Go make all of your stuff pirates.
Target opponent loses 4 life. Search your library for Vraska
Yep, that's it.
and put it in your hand. Quality work there. And it's a 3 mana 4/3 if you have the particular. Ooh, what's this?
Yeah, they always include these lands. They become legal in Standard, which they're awful, so you never get to see them.
Now we
Oh,
know.
they have the full art for the... Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Meh. Do we have people sitting down?
Oh,
Looks
we
like
ready?
we do.
We ready? All right. We've got.
Shay and Nathan versus Davis and Terry.
Should we see?
Sorry. those two against those two.
Davis versus Terry this time. Sneak and show.
Sneak and show versus what's Terry on? Usually a stone blade or a death blade or whatever blade kind of deck.
I mean, Davis has been undefeated, so a blade deck of some sort.
Yeah,
blade.
That's what we've seen him on in the past, so we'll make the assumption. Oh, what'd you do?
What did I do? I accidentally took all of that away.
Yeah, you sure did.
Look good.
Move it until this. Yeah, there you go.
Perfect. Here we go. And over here, we're going to have Nate versus Shay as our backup.
Yep, so Fairies versus Storm. You're really good at spelling Storm.
Which is why we do that off camera.
Okay, so we've got a turn 1 show and tell thing.
So which do you do? Do you show something or do you tell them?
I like to tell.
You got to do both because it's show and tell, not show or tell.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I choose both.
So you reveal the card and then you tell them about it.
Yeah. Blade. Beyblade. Look at that. Terry Scoops. That was game 1.
He's had enough. Let's see. He's not playing Blade. He's playing.
Is he not? You may be right. You may be on something different. Yeah, that does not look like Blade.
He's on Grixis.
Grixis Delver.
We'll call it Grixis.
Grixis something.
Grixis, question mark.
Yep,
question mark.
GG. Turn 1, cast.
Non-interactive. His favorite type of gameplay right there.
Yep.
I don't think he even made him, show him a card, right?
No, he didn't.
You can still let it resolve and just not reveal anything yourself. The madman. So this is exciting. Let's go watch our other match here. Here we go. Ant Storm, as we discussed and decided.
So it looks like we've got a Thoughtseize and forcing something.
We haven't seen enough of it to know. I think it's just Sneak and Show with Sneak Attack main deck instead of Omniscience.
Mm-hmm.
Cabal Therapy named not one of those 3 cards.
Something gives me a feeling he didn't name Go for the Throat.
What? Why would you say that?
Mostly because nobody expects Go for the Throat.
If you're going to go for a card, don't you go for the
Throat?
Card that says Go for the Throat? Yeah.
If you're going to go for a card, why don't you just go for the Throat?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Ant really cares about that card at all.
No.
I wouldn't be surprised if Nate sideboards that one out right now, mid-game.
I would. Probably the right thing to do.
I'm going to discard this to my sideboard. Ooh, you have Sneak Attack main and Omniscience? Cool.
Infernal Tutor.
So you can go Omniscience and then play Sneak Attack, and then your Emrakul has haste instead of giving it an extra turn.
And there's an LED.
That's how you do it.
LED number 2.
He's going to now put out the ants.
Oh, that's how you do it. Okay.
Right? Because this is Ant Storm.
This is.
Yep.
He's got the Grim Tutor, which we know has a limit of what cards you can get. It has to have Grim somewhere in there.
We've already... Nope, we're past that one.
Are we?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I won't go back.
We've beat that one to death. It's
So it can search for any card.
No, it's just talking about it is kind of depressing. It's kind of
You're right.
grim.
You're right. All right. Thoughtseize is going to take Infernal Tutor. Not the bees. Oh!
I've got another... Oh, my goodness. So he discards the Grim Tutor. He's got 6 mana.
3 of each, I would assume. 3 red, 3 black.
Where do these cool mana poker chip things come from? Man,
He's from this. We got sent them by this cool guy named Art Jorgensen.
they're neat.
Yeah, they're fantastic. They're little poker chips. The mana symbols.
They're looking pretty grim.
Nice.
They're grim. Because there was a Grim Tutor, but it was discarded. So actually, they're not.
So he just searches for Empty the Warrens and casts Empty the Warrens on 4. Looks like
He's gonna play with the Elemental Goblin Ants.
Oh, I forgot to put the goblins out there. Dang it.
And next game. Ants win.
That means I need to get the goblin tokens.
There was too many ants.
What was Kyra doing? He set up the tokens and forgot the goblins.
Perfect timing. Here comes Game 2. Grixis versus Sneak and Show. Or maybe we're on Game 3 because... No, I don't think we are.
I go out there and he goes, "Where's your goblins?" And then I just hand him a stack.
And everybody chuckled. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
All right, here we go.
Whoa.
Terry gets a Death Red Shaman.
Probably didn't hand him enough. I only handed him like 6.
We are in Game 2, round 3 of 4 of
So,
Legacy tonight.
Who decided to let Terry cast spells? That's weird.
Yeah, well, he decided.
Oh,
Last game he chose not to.
That's a good decision.
Yeah. He's like, I don't really want to play anything this game. All I can see.
There's someone else with my name who also sent poker chip markers. Small world, man. Right?
Yeah, we have
Isn't
a
that
lot
odd?
of them now. Pyromancer.
AKA, thank you, Jorgensen. Appreciate it. They've been really useful.
We need a not young Pyromancer. We need like a more experienced Pyromancer.
We really do.
Maybe something a little bit better than just a 1/1 elemental.
You know what it would be though? It'd be like a 4/4. It'd be like a 4 mana, like 3/2 with that makes 2/2s. You know,
like the other Delvers,
right?
The more experienced Delvers that are not
They're like
good cards.
just like terrible Delvers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, not better, just more experienced. Playing with young Pyromancers just seems out of fashion right now.
All right, there's a wasteland for Ancient Tomb.
Admiral's like, yes! Give me a better Pyromancer! I want a 1 mana 5/5. It could have Delve, that's all right.
There is a better Pyromancer. It's white. Yep.
Yeah, there is. There already is one. We don't need another one.
That card is incredible.
Captain QC, evening, Bryce.
I told you he'd show up.
I have arrived. Captain QC, it's amazing how you managed to make that simple acknowledgement sound. That's incredible.
Yep, it was amazing. Gummies. There you go. Yeah. Big bag of gummy bears.
During Halloween, I'd bring in some Halloween candy, and as we'd shuffle up, I'd set down a mini Snickers. Be like, ha! The winner gets the candy bar. And it's amazing how my opponent's faces would always light up like, oh, it is on now. We are playing for something.
I mean, I was going to beat you, but now I'm going to beat you.
And if I ever won, I'd be like, you can still have the candy. It's okay.
Whoa. Captain QC's over here 3-1ing with Parfait.
Ooh.
Huh. Interesting.
Well done, sir. I mean, he probably played against, like, not good decks. I mean, really talented legacy decks that would have made it a challenge.
Leah, you got to tell that guy to settle down. Seriously. See, this is why in EDH I run a Night of Souls Betrayal in like all my EDHs because people try to do silly stuff like that
for all the tokens,
and I just stop them. Yeah. These start running Delusions of Grandeur. It's delusions of mediocrity. Oh, it's fantastic. All right. Yeah, Lance does cry to a Game 1 Blood Moon for sure. They have ways to still interact. Like if they have diamonds, then they can still do things, but not a ton.
So I think what Terry wanted to do is get a little bit faster clock down, right? He's got the Pyromancer out, and yet he hasn't been able to make a. Here we go. We're starting to get some. He hasn't been able to get a lot of 1/1s out really, really quick, which presents a fast clock.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in this position against Sneak and Show, they're just one card away usually.
So Terry's game plan is simple from this point. He really just can't let Show and Tell resolve. He's going to pace this game out very slowly, and get there with young Pyromancer and Delver. The second anything important resolves from Davis's side, the game ends on the spot.
Right.
So he's playing a very reactive game.
So he's purposely leaving up red mana for his Pyroblast.
Yep.
But here we go. Now we're starting to get a clock down.
But it's so much more than that, though, because these Sneak and Show decks, a lot of times they're going to do what they do with counter magic to back it up.
Yep.
And as we can see, there's a Force of Will. Ooh, we got a Kozilek's Return.
That's spicy.
Blue, White, Black Rector. Okay. Yeah, I've seen some other Rector variants, Captain QC, but I will say this Nyx Fit deck is actually quite good. It's a little better than something like tier 3. I'd actually say that it's probably at least tier 2. The deck has been
Jesse
super solid.
Asked where the Cabal Therapy was, and there it is.
Found it.
And I think Davis is going to respond.
I think so too.
I think there's probably a response here.
Sounds dirty.
Maybe the perfect answer for all of these tokens and this clock that Terry was building up.
Definitely a ring to it, Jorgensen. It's kind of funny.
And he could force of will this. I think you have to. I think you have to force of will this. You get to take show and tell or force. Davis has a force of his own that he's going to respond with. So it's this one big, huge fight. Mm-hmm. Terry should get another elemental there. It looks like he missed that trigger.
I think he's just casting it again.
Okay, he clicked
it. Yeah.
Clicked it. He tapped it.
Yeah.
So Davis loses most of his hand. Terry wins the force battle. He gets to take Sneak and Show with the Cabal Therapy. Davis is left with a polluted Delta in hand.
Considering Terry doesn't actually have black mana outside of the Deathray Shaman, right? Like, he doesn't actually have a land that taps for black. He's done very well for himself. It's like Young Pyromancer is a good card or something.
It's a little young for me.
I mean, when you're this powerful, when you're young, why get older?
Okay. Because it often dies really soon. That's why. They just have a young life.
Yeah, they do. All right, so this is 7 damage. It's going to put him to 4.
This shows the power of Gitaxian Probe, right? Being able to, I mean, of course you get a 1/1, but getting to see exactly what Davis had in hand and see what he was up against allowed Terry to have that force battle and know he was going to come out ahead.
Yeah, Jorgensen, a Vintage Magic did a tour of our store. That's what that link is. So if you haven't seen our store before, go ahead and click that link. It's about a half an hour long. Shows a little tour of what's going on here at Paragon City Games. So
he comes in and gives a unbiased first take is what it would be like to walk in the store, and you get to see Kyer answer some on-the-spot questions.
Some questions I really just don't know the answer to, and I just make up crap.
It was well done.
Thank you.
I cringed a little bit.
Did you?
Yeah. Oh, what's he gonna say here? I don't know what I would say.
Patrick saved me.
All right, there it is. Terry gets it with
this Grixis Delver deck. It looks like
with some Pyromancers.
Yeah, I guess we haven't seen a Delver, have we?
Pyromancing. And on the other side of the table.
How did we get the name Paragon City Games, anywho? So I got brought on by Brian, and Brian came later. I actually haven't heard the story of why it's Paragon City. I think that was an Alton. Always had that name in mind.
And I could be wrong here as well. I Googled looking for it to see if there was a reason. And there's a MMO called Paragon City, and it's the City of Heroes. And
We are the City of
That's
Heroes.
the idea, is that
Okay.
that's what they wanted to do, is where heroes play.
Where heroes play.
And Brian has since said something along those lines too.
Mm-hmm.
He maybe says it in the video, right? Where he wants to be able to play in his own store,
Yep.
where he has a fun time here, and he doesn't want to own a store where he doesn't enjoy playing.
Mm-hmm.
So he wants everybody to feel like they're a hero.
Yep.
But it would be interesting to know exactly where,
I really need to get to know my stuff better.
so that if anybody comes in with a camera that's being shown on YouTube, you know the
Seriously.
answers.
I just need to know this stuff, and I don't.
That's all right. You just use a moment of silence, and then
Just use a moment of silence.
yeah, you skip the combat.
I guarantee it. Yeah, it was really cool to have him in our store too. Like, he was the nicest person. Just chatted with us, had a good time. He really liked all the art that we have in the store, and we're just acquiring more. Like, we just keep getting more and more art. On the front roof. Wow, that's crazy, Admiral.
We might be in game 3 here. I'm not sure. Or this might still be game 2. When we jump back and forth like this, it can be hard to follow. Yeah, he came in.
He
you guys knew he was coming.
came in first and told us that he was going to make a video, but like there was no preparation time. All he did was come in and go, "Hey, we're going to make a video. I'm going to ask you some questions." And I was like, "Okay." And then he went back outside, started the video. Yeah, so I had no idea what he was going to ask or where he was going to lead or anything. So pretty crazy.
So we're waiting for our main match that we were on here to finish shuffling up. They're getting close here to starting game 3.
Okay.
While we're watching Storm versus Black Blue Fairies. And like I said, I'm not sure if this is game 2 or 3.
You don't have a TV or commercials? Okay.
But we'll jump back over to
Our main feature
our
match.
other match here in just a moment. Our feature match.
Our feature.
In the feature area.
In the feature.
They have to
match
walk way over from the non-feature area to the feature area.
Which is right next to the feature area.
We don't even have it roped off or anything.
Nope.
Man, we need to make it more of a feature.
We do.
All right, here we go. Game 3 of Sneak and Show versus Grixis, maybe with a Delver. We haven't seen a Delver yet, but Pyromancer.
No, it could be a Delverless Delver.
Yeah.
You know, like you've played a lot of those kind of decks.
I liked the Delverless Delver deck. You're still trying to do the same thing, but you're not kind of hinging on whether your Delver flips or not.
Dang, nice bathrooms over there. I know, right? Nice bathrooms.
Oh, I thought they were ready to go. We did this again. We came back a little too early.
Look what you've done.
I'm sorry, guys. Sorry.
Okay. Is that a standstill? It looked like a standstill there for a sec. I don't think that's a standstill.
All right, here we
Now
go.
what HC Fox gets them. Yeah, Grixis Pyro is a deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why we've just called it Grixis. We haven't quite seen enough, but so far it plays like a Delver deck.
Yeah, game 1 he scooped before playing anything to
Yeah.
a turn 1 show and tell. So
Prepare the toilets.
quickly a Blood Moon. So these Grixis decks often have no basics.
Simon Met, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it.
Yeah, some of you guys, new guys in here, if you guys want to give us a follow, Paragon has been streaming a lot.
A
There's
lot of Legacy.
Magic Online being streamed sometimes during the day.
Every day.
Tuesdays and Friday nights, Paper Legacy.
Mm-hmm.
So give us a follow and get your settings so that it can send you a little notification. I'll be back here tomorrow morning.
Mhm. You gonna do some
I think we're gonna do some
Knicks fit. Yeah.
See if we can.
Brian and I are high on the Knicks fit.
We did the food chain on Monday. Now we'll do some Knicks fitting, and really we practically went 4-1 with food chain.
Right.
Except for a disconnect that happened.
I've
seen lots of different versions. I've looked at a lot of decks, and I've seen several that have no basics at all.
Right. A lot of them have none. I have seen some with the single island. Trash Wizards, thank you for the follow. We appreciate it. All right, so Deathray Shaman's on the board. Birdman, thank you for the follow.
We got a following tree.
Train?
It's happening, yeah.
A tree.
A tree, a train.
A tree.
One of those things. A chain.
Yeah, get some follows in here. That's awesome. We need to, while we have all those viewers, we need to talk about our Legacy Symposium. That's what we need to talk about.
Go for it. you can.
Yeah.
During these early turns where not much is happening. There's some shuffling and fetching.
All right, well, December 30th, we are having a 1K Legacy tournament here at Paragon City Games. We are located in Draper, Utah. And it's going to be a huge event. Like, Brian's already been looking into housing people who have found us through the stream. And we want anybody and everybody, to be able to make it out here. So, and then we follow up our 24 or with a 24-hour stream.
Yeah.
Leonardo, thank you for the follow.
So we'll have a 1K Legacy tournament and then a 24-hour stream.
And then a 24-hour stream.
It'll be great.
We're going to be doing a lot of Legacy.
I'm going to be exhausted.
So much Legacy. I'm not going to sleep for like a day and a half.
We got to up our P9 count. It's that Ancestral Recall, if you're watching the video, it's a pretty Ancestral Recall. So we saw a Gitaxian Probe. Terry's revealing his very, I'm going to stop you from casting anything hand. That's what he's got going on.
Sleep is for the weak, Kyer. Yeah. For sure. Admiral, we cannot help with airfare, but we can help you. We can help you with your housing. Another event in Utah that Wickelmack gets to miss. That is unfortunate. It's going to be a lot of fun. Brian has already been talking to some pros, and they are going to be here for our Legacy Symposium.
Ponder resolves for Davis, who he sees another Blood Moon. So the second Blood Moon isn't quite as amazing as the first one because of that Death Threat Shaman that's out in play. Terry's revealing his hand above, so the Death Right's in play, the Underground Sea is in play, and that's it. But it's still strong. And sure enough, he'll run it out.
All right, Blood Moon.
I say it's not as ridiculous, right? Because he can use some mana off Death Right.
Now, how many cards does Davis have left? Because forcing this is definitely a good option. He's not going to be able to play this game well without it, or with Blood Moon being on the board.
Yeah, you can though. If you get a Pyromancer, you can still play the Pyromancer, and it's still possible to play through a Blood Moon, but a lot harder. You're right.
Admiral, if I'm not I'm not sure with other situations like that, but if you are interested in coming, you can always talk to Brian, and Brian would be happy working with you. So
Terry's going to respond with a Brainstorm using his Death Right Shaman there to go see if he can find something to force away, pitch away, and Stifle gets it. Stifle isn't as brilliant in this situation, right? Where he doesn't get to stifle an early fetch.
Nope.
Stifling a sneak attack activation doesn't really help you.
Not the greatest. It can buy you a little bit of time, but besides that, it's not doing a whole lot.
You can potentially stifle a Emrakul trigger.
Annihilator.
Yeah.
Trigger. Once again, all that would do is buy you a turn of time. Right. It's not doing a ton. You'd rather stifle the sneak attack trigger.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Stifle's an interesting card that way too. It can just win games by itself in combination with Wasteland. It can just completely wreck, and you have to play around it. But other times it just doesn't matter. It's just a dead card. I found myself often stifling the equipment, and because I get it one turn too late, so I don't get to stifle the Stoneforge Mystic, which is what you want to do, right?
Yeah.
They play Stoneforge, they don't get to go search. It's great. You just played a 1/2. But I always draw one turn late or something. It's a challenging card to play correctly.
Sorry to hear that, Admiral. Maybe next year. But somewhere in the middle there, Jesse. Brian has told me the names of people who have committed to come, but he wants that to be a little more of a surprise. We'll probably reveal that. No, Burton Sheedy's not coming.
They're just going to start listing pros.
Yeah, right.
this one.
Yeah, I do know who's coming, and they're all recognizable names, but not LSV level, because that's the top level.
There's a great screenshot on Reddit right now, or earlier today, where it says, "Well, this was awkward," and it's LSV playing on Magic Online against somebody with a screen name LSV sucks. And the person in the opening chat, rolls a 6, rolls a 2, keeps his opening hand, takes a mulligan, whatever, comes down, and he says, "Well, this is awkward." LSV proceeded to beat him.
Yeah. It's kind of a funny name.
Brian and I played against Jeff Hooglin yesterday.
Yeah, I got to watch you guys beat Jeff Hooglin yesterday.
We had people in chat watching both streams, which is kind of fun to get to
Patrick was watching over the other stream, and he was going, "Oh, he's so mad! Yeah. He's so mad!"
We got to successfully food chain for a bajillion against him.
Yeah,
he was on an Esper deck.
Yeah.
Here's a Gurmag Angler.
Get drunk enough and anywhere it looks like home. Yeah.
And show and tell Grizzlebrand.
Yep. There's the grizzly bear.
His black creature is larger than Terry's black creature.
Yes. By quite a bit.
And he gets to draw a bunch of cards. It's really just not exactly fair.
No. It doesn't look like there's anything coming from Terry that's going to get him out of this either. So not only does Davis just get to draw a million cards here in a moment, but he's also got a hand.
Yeah, he's cards in his hand.
He does. Terry's your hero, lands in front. We actually have a couple of players who play like that. Doesn't really bother us too much.
He had to scoop him up.
Yeah.
Those lands in front never wins. Davis gets that one 2-1, and our other match is over.
Of course.
It looks like this. Very sad and nothing happening.
Yep.
So we've got one more round of Legacy happening. Let's click other places. And let's see. We've got 20 minutes left in the round, maybe?
10. 20.
But we might finish up a little sooner than that. So stick around here and we'll get one more round of Magic. It looks like we're going to have Davis on Sneak and Show versus Shay or Nate on one of those matches.
Yeah, we didn't get to see because they were 1-1 when we last checked, right? Or were they?
Probably. And we could, if you want, we could try and get Brian back on camera, regardless of his matchup.
We can see if that. I think it's Patrick that's on there, so let's see if we can get.
I'll write him a letter.
Oh, okay. Patrick, would you please put Brian on camera next round?
Whoa!
The gangs. the ganky you.
Goodness.
That's what it says.
There goes my letter.
That's what it says. And Patrick wrote back, not in letter form, may I add. And he says, "No problem, essay."
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which is
easy.
Yeah, apparently. Now you guys know how the communication goes here.
Well, cool.
So Brian's playing our Nyx Fit deck that we've been
Yes.
showcasing online. Kyer here went 5-0 with a version of it.
It was
last week.
Yeah, so last Tuesday I had a 5-0-10-0
Yeah.
with this Nyx Fit deck. It ended up getting on the mothership. It was in the spicy corner on
Yeah.
Want to pull that up?
Yeah,
The
let's look at that right
MTG
there.
Goldfish.
This was last week that
Yeah,
they
this
had
is
this
last
one
week.
up. So we got to go digging a little bit for this week in Legacy.
Wilcomac, I'm sorry, or not. Yeah, Wilcomac, I'm sorry that you're stuck in Cali, man. That is unfortunate.
So while we're waiting for our round 4 to start here, we've got
Transition over.
this page, which I often refer to here. I like the way that they present Legacy decks and their short
Yeah, I like
but
it.
sweet analysis on Legacy. But if you come through, and first we've got this cool standstill deck. I think this is a fun time. We saw
and
this
that-
last week here.
Yeah, somebody was playing it in our store last week. Pretty cool.
But if you come down to the bottom really quickly, we've got way down here.
Way down here.
Way down.
Spice
The Spice
Corner.
Corner. There we
So
are.
PCG Eternal. That's our name on MTGO. So we've changed a lot about this deck since I did the 5-0 with it. And what's funny is it was only my second time ever playing the deck, and deck just worked.
And you
for
played
me.
against like Burn and Storm.
Yeah,
and
I beat some
Delver
really
and
really
some
good decks,
right?
and you can definitely go back and watch the VOD on that tournament. It was so much fun. This deck is easily one of the most fun decks I've ever played. So the goal is to get this Academy Rector dead.
This guy, yeah. That's
Yeah.
usually the point when you have one.
So you have 4 enchantments that you get that help you A, lock, or B, win. So you have Dovescape and Overwhelming Splendor. And those are the cards that kind of make everything 1/1s, make it so they can't interact with you very well, and then you're going to go get Curse of Deathhold. Or you can do it opposite, depending on where you're sitting in the game. So this makes it so they can't have creatures on the board.
At all. Or play spells.
Yeah, so once you this is the old version Jorgensen, yes.
Yeah.
I've changed it quite a bit since then. And then last but not least, there's one other enchantment which I'm not sure where it is at the moment. Cruel Reality? It's in the main.
In here, right? Is it
Lower?
hiding?
Are you?
Oh,
There
there it
you
is. There's one because there's 61 cards.
Yes, there is 61 cards in the deck because Nyx Fit. So Cruel Reality, so the version I played today did not have the Cruel Reality, and I put a second Curse of Deathhold in.
Yeah.
Since my stream earlier today, I've gone back. Cruel Reality is like I was kind of thinking it was a little too cute. Maybe it wasn't needed. That is not the case. Cruel Reality is very good.
Yeah. And sometimes there's situations where you like draw Curse of Deathhold, but it's the one enchantment that's the easiest one to play.
Yeah.
So if it is in your hand, you can still go get Deathscape and then play Curse of Deathhold. Often you're having plenty of mana because of Explorers. So if you guys want a deck that you get to do some fun things and interact and play creatures and still completely lock out your opponent from doing anything at all, this is a fun deck to do it.
I've really enjoyed it. The only difference in the main board from this, we've cut a Swords and replaced it with a 1 of Vindicate. Well, that's being tested out today. We're not entirely sure if that's something that's going to stay that way. But Vindicate enters Planeswalkers, and that's what we've been losing to is Planeswalkers. So that's why the Cruel Reality also came back in. But we cut down on 1 of the Sylvan Libraries and 1 Evolutionary Leap, and we've added 2 Garruk Relentless. This morning we tested out the Garruk Relentless. That card was amazing in this deck. Absolutely phenomenal. So that's a for sure keep. Yeah. 100%.
Yep. And then the sideboard changed quite a bit.
The sideboard is almost 100% different.
Yeah.
We kept a couple of those ley lines, which I'm still not sold on, and we kept 2 of the Thoughtseize, and everything else we've gotten rid of.
And so the Helm of Obedience is gone as well as a backup plan.
Yes.
Yeah. And we never needed that. Like you're already you already have an enchantment search engine.
Right.
And so getting lucky and finding your helm just didn't seem that great.
Yeah. Captain QC, I can honestly say that the card was just amazingly impressive.
And you were saying like Pernicious Deed doesn't hit it.
Yeah, Pernicious Deed does not hit Garruk. So that's another reason that the card's amazing. Yeah, Garrick was gas. Thank you, Jorgensen. It was like when we won, we almost won every single game with Garrick. I don't think I locked out very many people today.
And it's kind of cool. They give streamed on Paragon City Games.
Yep, they did link our stream. Got to talk about the deck a little bit. Clearly, they watched it because what they had to say was very, very insightful. Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah, you beat it. Rest in peace. Yep. Some cards can just wreck when they get their death right out and you can't deal with it, or then you need your graveyard because of Rector.
Yeah, so that's something. We have 2 Abrupt Decay in the deck that can kill Rest in Peace pretty easy, but also we put that Vindicate in, which is like an answer to anything, which I really like.
No, Jorgensen, when you're there and you're watching, you become part of the stream. Yep.
Jorgensen, you're a part of it. Don't sell yourself short, man. Yeah, the deck has been a blast. We're gonna put Brian on and see if he can get a win. That'd be fun to watch, or at least after we watch Storm or Fairies or Sneak and Show.
Yeah.
And their match super fast because that's what they do.
Wow, I'm on it today.
And curious his record.
Yeah, I am curious what Brian's record is before we see him on camera.
Yeah, I think he lost his first 2 rounds, which is... I just blame him, like... obviously, he doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, he's going to be the pilot tomorrow, and I'm just going to be commentating on how incorrect he's been playing.
Yep,
I'm gonna say Kyra would have done that better.
Yeah,
I'm going to try and say that as often as I can, because...
As much as possible.
It's not a bad idea to... Really,
he started off 0-2. I don't know if I don't know how his round 3 went, Arjork, but no, I continue to play this deck and I continue to be impressed with it. And the more changes we make, the more I like it. The sideboard changes we've had are doing a lot. Huh. Ground Seal is the one that we really wanted to test today, and we just could not. We couldn't draw it. We never found Ground Seal. So we've gone up on one.
We're getting into the deep questions now.
Have you ever met someone else named Kyre? I have not non-interactive. However, I've heard of many. Maybe I don't want to say many, but enough. I've heard of a couple other people named Kyre. Like, I'll meet somebody and they're like, "Oh yeah, I know somebody else named Kyre," and I go, "Are you sure?" Kyre, Kyer, Kyre, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm sure." And I'm like, "Okay, whatever." It is a Danish name, so it's not like a made up name.
It feels kind of made up.
I mean, somebody had to make it up at some point. So I guess it is made up. He just lawyered me, guys.
You want the whole updated sideboard? And we'd have to open things and
I can actually just tell you if that's okay, Shiny Things. So I've got 3. Is it?
Oh, did you save it here?
Yeah, I did.
I can pull it up then. It's this one?
Yeah, the recent one.
Yeah.
So the sideboard I used today, and I've made a couple changes already. So there's a one of Caracas. Oh, you can just pull it up.
Yeah.
Just pan over to this screen and just show them.
Just show this thing.
Yeah, that works.
Here we go. It does show the whole thing.
Yeah,
Here
it
we
does.
go.
So this is what I was running today. I've already made changes from today. So we had 1 Caracas, 2 Thoughtseize, 1 Bitter Blossom, 1 Circle of Protection Red, 2 Ground Seal, 1 Scavenging Ooze, 1 Choke, 1 Eidolon of Rhetoric, 2 Toxic Delusion, 3 Leyline of the Void. The deck that I sent Brian with has already changed. We cut the Caracas and we cut the Bitter Blossom, and we added in a 3rd Ground Seal and a... Oh my goodness, what was the other card?
Ground Seal is mostly there to stop Deathright Shaman, right?
So Ground Seal is really important. Not only that, but... So it comes down, it stops 2 really, really important cards. Deathright Shaman, Surgical Extraction. These are cards we don't want to have to deal with. Not only that, but it stops Deathright Shaman completely. They can't even use it for their benefit, that, and it shuts off all Snapcaster mages. It actually hurts the opponent a lot, and we don't use it at all.
Right.
So we've gone up to 3 ground seals mostly because we haven't gotten a good chance to test it. The fact that it draws you a card when it comes into play just seems fantastic. Doesn't really hurt us to play quite a bit. Mm-hmm. Not to mention ground seal's quite good against Reanimator. It makes it so Exhume is the only thing that can bring back creatures. They can't animate
and
dead.
So these Leylands of the Voids that there's 3 of right now, maybe they don't need to have that many.
We're talking about that right now. We're unsure.
Yeah.
But I remember the other card. We put a Pithing Needle in, which
a Pithing
Needle.
Good.
Which I think is necessary.
Captain QC comes out of nowhere. You're made up, Bryce.
Nice, got him.
Ouch.
Yeah, so we're still working a lot. The stream was talking about the Circle of Protection red, and there maybe Warmth is better. You know, there's a couple other red hate cards that we could probably put in. But what I've been discussing with people is we don't necessarily need all of our sideboard cards to be enchantments. The only things that we're tutoring with Academy Rector are big enchantments. You're never going to go, Academy Rector, go get Ground Seal. Mm-hmm. You know?
And there's just still the option of like Gaddock Teague or other green searchable creatures.
Yeah, Garrick can search for creatures on the backside. Also, we have Evolutionary Leap that can hit creatures that we.
Which is why you maybe don't want to do that, right? Because often you want the Leap engine to work.
This is why the sideboard only has Eidolon or Rhetoric just as a one of, and Scavenging Ooze as a one of. These are creature cards that we're okay with hitting off of Leap in certain matchups, but never, outside of those certain matchups. So, Sun Droplet maybe, yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of different options, but at first we had this mindset that like we needed all this stuff to be enchantments, and that's actually just really not the case. Which Garrick is it? It's Garrick Relentless, the flip Garrick.
Yeah,
Dr. Muggy, he is absolutely amazing. So on his front side. Mm-hmm. You can 0 to make a 2/2 wolf.
Right, which is okay, but not
it's
usually the
okay.
main idea.
The fact that it does make tokens though is good for Leap.
Yep.
And it's good for some other things. Okay, so Brian's 1 and 2 at the moment, but then it has a 0 ability where it deals 3 damage to a creature.
Right.
And then that creature deals damage equal to its power back to Garrick. So he starts with 3 loyalty, which means as long as you're killing something with 1 or 2 power, then Garrick will flip, and all of Garrick's backside abilities are fantastic.
Right. So you're able to either kill their thing or kill your own thing.
Or kill your own. So so the front side can kill no Sandworm Convergence.
Not anymore.
It's really...
It was fun.
Yeah, the card's great. It can win games, but I think that's not the way we want to keep this. Cruel Reality is back in the deck, Arjork. Mm-hmm. We took it out for today's stream, and we realized that it is not correct. I think it needs to be in the deck. So
and then after Garruk flips.
After Garruk flips, he can +1 to make a Death Touch Wolf.
Right.
Or he can -1. You sacrifice a creature and you search your deck for a creature.
Right.
Which is fantastic because then you can start looping Rectors. Which is exactly what you want Evolutionary Leap for.
Every time you were able to do that, it was amazing.
Fantastic. So Garrick does the same thing. It also doesn't die from Pernicious Deed, which is huge. So you can take a look at the list that we just pulled up, but we've already changed things. I think it's awesome that other people are looking into this deck quite a bit too, because I've never considered myself a brewer, this deck kind of fell into my lap, and then now I'm just kind of obsessing over it. I'm trying to figure it all out. So,
all right, we're gonna have Davis versus Shay. Finally, round 4 is starting.
Yeah, this is Brian.
We're gonna have Brian. He is 1 and 2.
On Nick's Fit
versus TJ. We've seen TJ playing this Sultai deck, Sultai Control. Whoops, let's do it like that. So where do you want to start? Do you want to start with the undefeated?
Yeah, let's start with the undefeated. I feel like this is Kyer, you have a nice beard. Can't say the same for Bryce. That's probably going to change pretty soon. I actually don't like having the beard. Probably going to get rid of it. I told a friend that the other day, and they were like devastated. They were like, "Why the beard looks so good?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know."
And so Davis on Sneak and Show, and he's playing against Shay.
Bryce, you need to step up your beard game.
It's just enough that it annoys me. Yep. Here we go.
Don't like having a beard? Well, you can't be right about everything. I don't know. It's fine.
Are you trying to say he's been right about everything else?
That's probably the best compliment I've ever had. If you can grow one, you definitely should. Well, I did grow one. There you go. We need that yellow Madden play-by-play. I'm not entirely sure what that means.
Because if you...
I agree.
Yep.
Well, awesome. We have some magic. We ate up 20 minutes of your time
We
with
talked
talking about
things.
random things.
Yeah.
But thank you for being patient. Round 4 is on its way, and this is our last round. So Davis and Shay here are our undefeated players at Sneak and Show and Ant Storm.
Perfect. Captain QC, that's what I aim for. I kind of want you to leave this stream, which is kind of like a feeling, and then I'll feel like we accomplished something.
I might come back.
Yeah.
You guys are okay.
One of you is all right. The other one,
The other one's fine. Kyra has a beard, so I might as well stick around.
Perfect. Mission accomplished. All right. Davis is switching sides of the table. It's going to be very confusing. He's been on our right side the whole time. Mm-hmm. And Brian and I will be back here tomorrow playing. I guess we're going to try out some Nick's Fit ourselves.
Yeah.
And we'll be doing it on Magic Online.
There's a good chance I'll be in the chat for that stream. I really wanna like figure out what
Tell
I need
us all
to
the
do.
things we're doing wrong. Oh, okay, yeah.
Not necessarily. No, that's not the goal actually. The goal is to get the deck right.
All right, we've got some shuffling. More shuffling.
The other match is starting.
This one's just shuffling.
Mm-hmm. Assless Chaps, thank you for the follow. Appreciate it.
This is very exciting. You can't stop watching this type of shuffling, guys. It's
Winged Yeti, thank you for the follow. We appreciate
the cards are going into the other cards, and it's mesmerizing. You can imagine the sound in your head.
The fact that other people get to be shuffling cards and I'm not shuffling cards.
We should get you some cards to shuffle real quick.
No, that's a bad thing. Don't let me.
I think you and I need to play a couple practice games because I haven't gotten to test out Bitter Blossom at all yet. So we can do some Nick's Fit versus Soul Tie after this.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I actually close tonight, so I'll be around the store.
I like this. Check out our sponsored content MTG bot.
Yeah.
And who was it? Jorgensen earlier said, "Where's the content? What content? What sponsors?" You have to wait patiently for other content to be spoiled.
Yep.
Here we go. We got a Volcanic Island.
Cards. Get him some poker chips.
Versus
that'd be so bad, Jorgensen. It'd be right in the mic. You do not want that.
A Unlimited Bayou. So if we're playing the who's got the cooler dual land right now, the Unlimited Bayou is beating the revised Volcanic Island, I think.
And that's all that really matters.
That's round 4. This is the type of commentary you get here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had that. I can't tell you how many people in chat that day were like, "Kyer, put the poker chips down." I'm like, not playing with the poker chips.
Yeah. We get that from Brian sometimes.
We do.
We get the tapping or I'm gonna hit this table every time I say something important.
I can't.
Whoa, Davis has got some lands for this duress, guys.
So, duress did hit Lotus Petal. Is that what happened? guess.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that keep though. Yeah, exactly. This is not nearly enough interaction to deal with a storm deck. Pedal, storm count 1. Why keep that? I agree. That is brutal. Turn 1, Grim Tutor. Storm count 2.
Which we've already established. He can go get Grim Flare, Grim Monolith, Grim. What was that? The silly.
Grim something.
Gremlins, because they're grim.
Pilgrims.
Pilgrims.
I thought we were done with this.
No,
You told me we were done.
I thought that was the last time we were going to see Grim Tutor. It's a one of in his deck, and he's played it every game.
Yep. Top of the pops. Yeah, he could easily win this next turn. In fact, with Grim Tutor happening on turn 2, I fully expect this to happen. Lavamancer.
Yeah.
He's not silly.
Lavamancer, because it's Grim.
Grim Lavamancer.
Yeah. Yep. Ponder.
You doubt they were 2 lands? Okay, that's what the card under the pedal was.
That makes a little bit more sense.
Okay.
Here's a whole bunch of lands for you to take away with your duress. So he's got a sneak attack and a brainstorm and a lotus petal he's looking at there. Plus he's got 1 card unrevealed there. It doesn't look like he's got an answer.
Yeah, I'm not thinking so. I think this is going to be a quick game 1. Although, if you never pass the turn, then you never die.
Is that how that works?
I don't know. I've never tried it.
Oh.
Yeah, I definitely missed the brainstorm. That's what happens when I get caught up talking about random garbage. Like Grim Tutor and Grim things.
You mean vitally important commentating.
Oh, yeah, commentating.
This is called analysis in the magic world. That's what we do here.
Analysis, that's right.
He would eventually get a game loss? Oh.
For never passing the turn, eventually?
Now we don't ever have to try that out. Find out. I guess when we're playing a practice game, we can try and just see if you magically get a game loss.
We could try it.
Yeah. Just
sounds like a
one of us might fall
terrible
asleep.
waste of time.
Uh-oh.
No, now I want to know what's going on the other table. There are some spirits. There's a True Name Nemesis and a Tarmogoyf. Looks like overwhelming splendors in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Somehow.
Shay's Dark Ritual.
Thought seized, maybe.
And Lion's Eye Diamonding. And Infernal Tutoring Ring. Let's see if he can get there. I think he's going to get there.
I think he's going to get there.
Unless those 2 upside-down cards in Davis's hand are perfect. You know, a counterspell here would work. And I guess you could choose to counter the Ad Nauseam here instead of the Infernal Tutor, but I think it's safe to just counter the Infernal Tutor. If you've got a counter. So here's the discard. Oh, it's an Ad Nauseam. He's discarding. We'll see how this goes. So he's going to have 3 floating mana. I believe the deck only plays 1 Ad Nauseam main.
He announced it wrong? He announced what wrong? The way the Infernal Tutor works, or? Yeah, they were probably just discussing it. I don't think he did it wrong. Shay's been playing this deck for a long time.
Oh, he had enough for Past in Flames? Yeah. Lion's Eye Diamond and the fetch land. And Brainstorm.
No, he cracked LED.
Yep. All right.
So he cast Infernal Tutor and then he cracked LED. Yeah, he didn't miss it.
So 2 cards are going back with Brainstorm. Let's see if Davis has an answer here. He's thinking about it as if he does. You kind of need one right here.
Yeah.
That 1 mana floating is what's required.
Yep, so he's going to get some mana.
Yeah, I don't think he ever did actually get the land.
Did he fail to find? Oh, that's funny.
I think he used the mana, though, from the land that he didn't get.
Maybe.
One of those, I announce I'm getting this land and tapping it and never actually getting the land.
Doesn't matter, I'm winning. I don't need to go get the land.
My mind is elsewhere. That kind of is incorrect. Just a smidgen. I'm pretty sure the math worked out. He needed it too, right? Yeah.
Oh, that's what they were talking about, not the priority? Oh, okay. Well, Davis seems to be on the same page with Shay, so as long as that's going on. Thank you for the follow.
I don't know if he's going to get there, is he? Yeah, he's going to have to stop right there.
So he just kind of announced everything that was going on, and now he has the land. That is so funny.
There it is. So it's because he had ad nauseum in hand there that all had to stop, right? He couldn't go get ad nauseum there. That would have been the card to tutor for.
Definitely not how things were supposed to be ordered, and not only that, but the exile cards are like in the library right now.
Here comes a sneak attack, and an Emrakul, and an attack from an Emrakul, and that's gonna do it.
We saw just a bunch of lands in hand, but I think that's gonna be it.
There's some annihilation happening as well.
Mm-hmm.
Shay has a few turns, but yeah,
it ended up not mattering, and Sneak Show is going to take game 1.
All right.
Nope, wrong one.
Yeah, the other way. Sorry. Let's see what's happening with this other... Oh,
Shuffle Cam.
Yeah. Look at this, guys. Look at this great deck. This Nyx Fit deck over here that Brian is playing. As I move the mouse as if they can see it. Certainly, when we're on the MTGO cam, you can't.
That was definitely interesting to watch. No kidding. You know, as long as Shay was like, you know, talking to Davis and making sure that everything, you know, the board stays safe. I don't think there's a real problem, but that definitely was weird.
We're not at the highest level of REL here on Tuesday nights, and if both players are perfectly aware of what's happening,
then it shouldn't be an issue. It wasn't great for the camera. I'll say that much.
There's a volcanic island floating in play right now, guys.
Yeah. It was very camera friendly. Yeah, it was beautiful. A work of art, truly. Everyone in the store is on the same page to troll us.
Yes. Yep.
And they just wait for each other's games to finish, and then they start sideboarding. Yep, that's how it works.
That's how Magic works. Because one player is playing Storm, and this other match should have lasted a lot longer, and it didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, so looking at Brian, he's playing against this Sultai deck. The Ground Seals definitely come in. Anytime you see a Deathrite Shaman, or a deck that should be playing Deathrite Shaman, you just bring the Ground Seal in. They're a cantrip.
Yeah.
They stop, you know, Deathrite interaction. And I would assume that Surgicals would come out of TJ's board as well. Mm-hmm. So definitely a Ground Seal matchup.
And I guess it depends on how much of Brian's deck he saw.
Yeah, I don't know how
he saw Overwhelming Splendor.
I do know that most people in this store are very aware of what's going on with Nyx Fit.
Yeah.
It's kind of been a thing lately. Especially here at Paragon City Games.
It does kind of disguise itself as just a Nyx Fit deck, though,
it does.
Right?
Yep.
Where you're thinking Knight of the Reliquary.
Like, oh, Knight of the Reliquary, or Thragtusk, or Grave Titan.
Right.
Maybe
I need to bring in like an answer to a 2020 Indestructible, or something like that. Which are just dead cards.
Yeah, Assless Chaps. I agree. That was a massive shortcut. It was a long cut, a long cut. But you know, Davis ended up winning. So whatever.
Who did you promise? Like if you promise yourself, it's okay to amend promises to yourself.
Oh yeah,
Captain QC. You can make a sixth one.
Captain QC, I want more people on this deck with me. I need help. I need help making this deck what it needs to be. Might confuse you if Caleb D showed up with Nick's Fit but not Brian.
No, it's not okay. Okay.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if a streamer decided to start playing Nick's Fit. This deck is super interesting, a lot of fun to play, and wouldn't weird me out at all.
Brian's on the I'm gonna keep shuffling forever plan here.
Yeah.
Just to show you guys how cool this deck is. Like, look how great it shuffles. It's really entertaining to watch this deck shuffle compared to other decks get shuffled. Land text, scroll rack, done.
Yeah, sorry. I should have thought about that before, Jorgensen. Thank you. I need minds like Jorgensen's to keep me in check, you know?
You're just missing the deck? Is that all?
I was in the same position, Captain QC. I was just missing the Rectors.
And the Explorers and the Enchantments and the...
Yeah, but it wasn't too much. I think I paid about $200 to finish the deck, which for Legacy is very low.
If you want to get foil Academy Rectors, they're...
Those are like 150 a piece.
Yeah, they might be...
They might be higher.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We got to watch some magic here.
Okay.
We've got a therapy.
Cabal Therapy.
And Brian...
No idea what he named.
Didn't name any of those cards.
Probably named Deathrite Shaman. I would guess.
And he missed. Swing and a miss. Now, leading with therapy is kind of interesting. Usually you want to lead with Explorer if you have it, right? In fact, almost any hand with Explorer is keepable. That's how I found it.
If you have a green source and you have an Explorer, chances are you can keep the hand.
Yep. But if you don't have it, leading with therapy is great because it's better in your graveyard than it is in your hand often, right? That way, turn 2, if he gets an Explorer, he can immediately use it.
Right. Are Rectors on the reserve list?
Yeah.
Are they really? And they're only like $30 a piece. That seems super low.
I think so.
For a card on the reserve list.
Let's find out. If only we had the internet.
If only. Control F. Okay, so this is a fantastic. I don't think Rector's on the list.
Right there. There it is.
It is.
It is on the list.
It is on the list.
Yep. It's one of all of 10 cards from Urza's Destiny.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's super interesting. Well, hopefully I didn't accidentally make a card price go up.
Right.
I've always been so against doing stuff like that. So, Veteran Explorer does resolve, or is that still on the stack? We got a brainstorm. Rector is reserved for sure. Yeah, we did just.
Anytime you can get a tower and a Rector, and I think he's got a Rector in hand and an Explorer. Mm-hmm. This is amazing, right? If this resolves.
Well, since it's on the reserve list, then yes, I definitely suggest picking them up. They are so much fun to play with, not just in this Nick's Fit deck, but they're actually just a blast. So
Brian's got to feel pretty good about playing a Rector right here, right?
He can play Rector. He can also play something like Garrick. So he has 2 black floating from the Phyrexian Tower.
Yeah.
And then he gets a Plains. Really, a Plains in a Swamp? Yeah, I was gonna say you probably want a Forest.
And I think what we're gonna see the Rector come out and then Cabal Therapy immediately sack it.
That's the goal.
Yep.
Now,
maybe TJ didn't counter the Veteran Explorer because he wanted basic lands himself, which he does have some.
Right.
And so do you just go for it here? Do you just run out?
Yes.
I mean, you've seen his hand.
Yeah, I would run it. You need like, especially when you're ahead like this, you need to show your opponent, hey, I'm going to try to win this game. Make them use things like Force of Will.
Oh, yep, he's going to go Garruk.
And this is Garrick.
Garruk.
It doesn't matter.
It matters.
So this is a card we should probably pull up. I know we've talked about it, but let's get it up on our screen. Garrick Relentless.
Garruk. There's a C in there, I'm pretty sure.
And Garrick's going to make a 2/2 wolf token, and then he's going to pass the turn or whatever.
There's too many arts now.
Oh, yeah, this is the new art, but this will work. This will work just fine. Maelstrom Pulse is going to take care of Garruk. Or Garrick. Never mind, we won't pull him up.
There it is. Here it is.
Okay.
Just in time for it to get killed.
Yep.
So yeah, it made a 2/2.
It did.
It's a cute little wolf.
It is adorable.
Explorer number 2.
What did it replace? It replaced one evolutionary leap because it really does the same thing as a evolutionary leap in the deck. And then it replaced the Sylvan Library number 2. So we're only running one Sylvan Library now.
Sorry for the new art here, guys.
I don't know if that's correct, but
this is what is great. Is this -1 sacrifice a creature, go search for a creature?
sacrifice my Academy Rector.
Yeah.
Go get another Academy Rector.
Win the game. It
Yeah.
it does the same thing as evolutionary leap, while providing a little bit of versatility. Right, you get to
Yes.
shoot one of their things, whether it's a Deathrite Shaman or whatever young Pyromancer, and it survives through a Pernicious Deed.
Yes. So Collective Brutality is going to hit, and it's going to take an Unearth.
And he sees the coast is clear here.
This is Liliana, True Name Nemesis, and and here it is, Cabal Therapy. We're gonna get rid of Academy Rector.
And the Rector trigger happens first
Yes.
before the Cabal Therapy resolves.
Mhm. I imagine so. In seeing TJ's hand, this just really is not that terrifying of a hand. You can easily just get Overwhelming Splendor, and then Liliana's the only good card in the hand, which you can't cast. Or I guess he does have another land, doesn't he? Oh no, he can't. He can't use a fetch land.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's gonna take Liliana anyway.
Liliana would be able to activate. It still allows Planeswalker abilities, loyalty abilities, right?
Yeah. Mana and loyalty abilities are the only things that can be used with Overwhelming Splendor on you.
So there's some argument to get Curse of Death's Hold there, because it minuses the
True Name Nemesis.
True Name Nemesis right away.
Yeah, but this way True Name Nemesis is just a 1/1.
Yep.
Has no abilities. You still get to name a player, but that doesn't actually do anything because it has no abilities. Polluted Delta comes down. And like I said before, Polluted Delta is completely dead. It cannot activate. So I'm kind of hoping that we don't have to run out there and remind him of that.
I think Brian's going to know that one. He'll be
I would assume so. Nope.
He's going to try and do it anyway.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Versatility. I like it. That's a good quote. Okay.
So he'll decide to scoop up his cards once known.
He'll see that he's fighting a losing battle there.
Yeah. He's like, but I've already activated it. I'm like, yeah, you can't, though. That's not something that you can do.
So, I just did that as well.
All right, well, how's our other match looking? Is it already over? Probably. I actually know they're already over.
Oh.
Because they weren't sitting down. So I would assume that Davis took that one, since we... Oh, they are there.
They're still there.
The heck? That's right, they weren't even sitting
There's
there.
not that big of a delay. All right, so Davis got game 1, and it looks like Shea is attempting to combo off. He's just attacked with the Xanthid Swarm, which prevents his opponent from getting to play things, right?
Yeah.
The language on that is when it attacks, defending player can't play spells this turn. And this is kind of a... I've seen this not in decks recently. I think this is kind of some old tech from... I think most Ant players are not playing with this card. But Shea's got a foil, so you got to play with it, right?
You have to.
Yeah, those old foils.
Because bees.
And I could be wrong there. I'm not a Storm knowledgeable person. But so Shea's got an open path here if he's got it. Let's see what he's doing. He's running through the math right now with the cards in hand.
Yeah, definitely.
Looks like there's been some therapies played. can't quite see Davis's cards.
Was that a shame scoop? I don't know about shame, but he realized that he can't win with the hand that he had.
Oh yeah, so it's still being played. I'm wrong.
When I was playing in GP Vegas, I had Xanthid Storm played against me.
Oh, okay.
So I think it's still a thing that's going on. Discard Past in Flames. Discard something else. Crack LED. Get some mana. Not sure what the infect token is doing out there, but
just in case.
There it is.
Yeah.
Maybe that's their storm counter, even though we have a storm counter. There we go. All right. Storm 3 black mana. And it looks like TJ and Brian are going to a game 3.
And Davis is helping him out here, keeping track of it for us. Some more ritualing, some more storming, and he should be able to get this. Tutor finds a... When you have a green light off of the insect, it helps a little bit.
Never mind, not using it that way. Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, oh, it's just a storm counter. Geez, there's got to be a pretty good sized delay. Sorry about that, guys. Probably a good 30 second, 45 second.
Yeah. Brainstorm. Storm count 6. And he's just using his last untapped mana for that Brainstorm.
Mm-hmm. He's still got tons and tons of manas.
And in the meantime, our other match just started.
Yeah, there is not a colorless chip. What a failure I am. You know what? The infect token works just fine. We can also use the experience counter or the cons dragons
or you
counter.
just put a Grim Flare out there, and then he can keep track of Grim Monolith mana. Right? Right? Is that... No? Okay. Not that way, guys. Jesse, thanks for joining us. Have an excellent evening.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, do you guys want to see the culmination of this storming? Or should we jump over to Game 3 of Nyx Fit versus Sultai?
I mean, I personally want to watch Nyx Fit. Let's let our chat decide. We'll stay here until the player would play all the mana. If I had to guess,
Tendrils.
Yeah.
For a bunch.
Puts him to 1, and then he just casts it again from the graveyard, right? Yep. All right, let's pan over. So we had a Cabal Therapy. Let's watch Nyx. Let's watch Nyx.
Okay. I think he only was able to do it
no more Storm.
For 16 there. It does shut off Ancient Tomb. So... There's still a little window.
More Nyx Fit. All right. Well, we'll see where Brian's headed. The fact that he fetched for a basic swamp does tell me he has green. So this is an evolutionary leap coming down for Brian.
And this is the enchantment that really makes the deck work.
Yeah, this is the engine card. This is what lets you chain Rector into Rector into Rector.
You've seen the leap now. Here it is.
Yep, the leap has resolved. It's there. We found it. Yeah, let's just focus on this one. Give the people what they want.
I like it. It's round 4. Watching 2 games at once is hard to do.
So the question is he going to have a Veteran Explorer or a creature to sacrifice? That's the big question from this point. Another reason why I really like Garruk in this deck. Just another thing to give you creatures.
Yep.
Because getting Leap going is huge. Resolving Leap is huge, so we'll see if he can interact with it well. We got a Leovold. Oh, Return of the Beard. This is not just tech. This is the entire engine of the deck. It is incredible.
Looks like he doesn't have the Veteran Explorer.
So he doesn't have a Veteran Explorer, but he does have a fetch land. So what's going to happen is Thoughtseize is going to happen. Looks like he's going to respond by Abrupt Decaying Leovold. Interesting.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say is he can just get Dryad Arbor off of this Windswept Heath, and that'll give him the creature he needs for Leap. But he's got an Academy Rector, he's got a Toxic Deluge, and a second Leap, which that's the only 2 leaps in the deck.
So the Abrupt Decay there, you don't really care about having Leovold out. It's just a 3/3.
No, I'm pretty surprised by that play. I think I would have fetched Windswept Heath and used the Bayou to leap.
Mm-hmm. You would have been able to jump block, sack.
Well, see, now Brian's lost his entire window by doing that. Wasteland takes out Bayou, and now he's in a really tough spot.
Yeah, and so there's a 1 of Dryad Arbor, which is
Why didn't he fetch the Dryad Arbor?
often the fetchable creature that you need.
Okay, so he's going to play Scavenging Ooze, and this is going to get forced.
And it's,
Wow.
Yeah.
Really surprised by Brian's line there. I probably would have EOT'd, fetched for Dryad Arbor, and used Dryad Arbor on itself to go get something else. I guess he still doesn't have the mana, though. I know, we do need a giant Goyf die. Or Goyf Rocks, as we call them here at Paragon City Games. Is Brian not feeling well? I'm not sure. With the Wasteland, though, regardless, he was going to lose like mana, and he does need 4 mana to eventually get this going.
Yeah.
But this is probably enough tempo for TJ to win.
Yep.
There's a second leap and no third land.
And you can see how differently this game would have played out if he had
Right.
if he had fetched his Dryad Arbor, sacked his Dryad Arbor. He'd have a Explorer or a Rector in hand, and if it had been it would have been just the luck of the draw there.
If it was a Veteran Explorer, he probably would be winning right now.
Yeah, he'd be back in the game if it was an
Right.
Explorer.
You think his line was correct?
To Abrupt Decay the Leovold. Yep. So TJ's going to get there with a Tarmogoyf and unnecessary Liliana. You can see Brian had a Pernicious Deeds in hand, but not enough mana to make it happen. And our other match.
Yeah, he would be down to only a basic swamp. I understand that, but the thing is though is like he didn't know about the Wasteland. Like when I said that line, I was just thinking if you get that and you hit a Veteran Explorer off of it, then you get to cast Veteran Explorer and get all the lands you need to chain into Rector.
Yeah.
That was the line I was thinking, but the Wasteland definitely did throw that off. Right after the Wasteland.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So this was it for Tuesday Night Legacy. This was our 4 rounds.
We made it.
We will be back here with more Paper Legacy on Friday night.
Friday at 7:30 Mountain Time.
I will be back here tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Mountain Time, with Brian. We're going to try that deck out online and run through some of the lines. I believe that's what we're going to play.
Excellent.
We play Vintage and/or Legacy Mondays and Wednesdays.
Yeah.
You play Legacy on Tuesdays
and Thursdays, and usually Fridays too.
Sweet. All the Magic Online.
And
so if you guys want to give us a follow, if you haven't already, we'll pop up and you guys can see these games played on Magic Online as well.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are here for the first time, be sure to give us a follow. It's always good to be able to know when we're streaming. So
yeah. And thanks for joining us, guys.
Last but not least, Hail Heroes.
Have a good evening.